Good evening and welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. I am laughing at this. Dennis is like a knockoff Piers Morgan. I am gonna lie, bro. That is funny, bro. I'm not gonna lie. That is funny. All right, let me get my last cup of coffee for the day. Oh man, you won't believe what happened, Robert. You won't believe what happened. Listen, I bought some coffee because I didn't want to go to the store, okay? I hate going to the store. But I bought some coffee, all right? I bought this, and I'll show you. I bought this called Folgers 175, okay? And I looked at the picture. It said it was $14 and some change. I'm like, okay, that's a good size box. That's a good size can. And I said, I gotta order this. So I ordered the medium roast, right? I got the medium roast. And then I thought, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get it. And so I was waiting for it eagerly today, right? So this morning I bought my special coffee. And then I finally got my Folgers coffee. Are you ready? Here we go. This is what I got. this little tiny can. Oh my God, bro. I was so mad. Medium roast. Medium roast is good. It's got the good coffee smell. It's got enough caffeine. It doesn't really wake you up, but it has enough caffeine. Folgers in your cup. That's what we want. In the morning and on the evening. It was horrible. I was expecting a big ass can like this big, bigger than my head, and I get this little tiny one. You know, it's like when you voted for Biden and expected all these great things, and then we got nothing. We got nothing. Nothing is what we got. Man, I'll tell you what. First of all, let me say, hey, TW. I told you, man, these libtards, that's why I call them libtards. They're just retarded people who believe themselves to be liberals. I just don't get why they're like that. You know, I can see why I can come across like that sometimes. But I'm learning to accept my mistakes, especially people been correcting me. What's funny is that, I get like people that said, oh, you said that was wrong. And I was like, yeah, I apologize about that. Hey, you never apologize. It's like they don't listen. I just told you. I apologized twice. I don't know what to tell you. Omar, let's go, he says. Fight! Omar, he's like a mini me. He is so passionate. He's got such a fighting heart and loving heart, and it's just too big for his little chest. Oh, man. And I don't mean that as an insult, little bro. It's just I'm kind of big. You haven't met me in person. I am kind of big. And then we got Robert, big bros, holding down the fort there for a little bit for the ladies. Nobody disrespect the ladies when Robert is on watch. Brian, what's up? I don't know. Brian is making me do that from now on. That's why he writes that. Cotton Edge, good to have you back, brother. I felt bad because I didn't want you guys to think, oh my God, this is how the live is going to be all day. Listen. My love, my respect for all the ladies, all right? And for all those guys who are looking out for the new technology of AI to be used to educate safely the children and future teenagers. Let me tell you about this. Cutting Edge. I think you said that you were down for that, right? You were down for AI teaching history and all this stuff, right? Well, think about this. This is it could be an amazing thing if it goes the right way. It can be an amazing thing if it goes the right. Imagine this: you don't have to send your children to school. Now, I'm not saying just keep him drowned in the house and grounded and don't take him anywhere for social, not a social experiment, but but social experience. You don't want your kids to be all inverts. And even though it's okay to be an invert sometimes, but sometimes I think it affects the confidence of as you grow up, right? A lot of people, when they become adults, they overcome it, but most people, and we see them a lot on the left side, they just don't overcome it. They just can't. I don't know why. Something happens. But I think it's fantastic if you want to homeschool. If you're going to learn about the Civil War, right? There's like years. Like in Honduras, they pack everything all at once. By the time I am in second grade, I am learning cursive writing and dividing and multiplying by 3 or 4 digits. It's crazy, okay? By third grade, I'm learning my geography. I'm learning about the continents. I'm knowing about the countries in the continents, and I'm learning about our history. Our literature is literally our history being taught in literature. And I mean, there's just so many things. But the mind, when the mind is young, it can be very observant of good things or bad things. So I'm actually a little bit excited about AI. I just wanted to touch up a little bit on that. Billy Bob, welcome back, sir. Welcome back. Jonathan Johnson, Trump, let's rock. Magic Cat in the house. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Who else we got in here? Leslie Simp. Hopefully that's not what I think it means. Hey, I don't know, man. People be getting some weird names in here. I am down for that, but with zero propaganda and 100% critical thinking. Critical thinking is not the same as critical theory, I think. I'm just saying. Yeah, definitely critical thinking. But you know what's cool about AI though? It's like they'll be so patient on answering your questions. Like for example, if they're teaching you something and you don't understand, wait, can you repeat that again? Wait, how does that go? You know what I mean? And they will never just get tired of giving you the information, and they will probably be more accurate than we would as humans. So there is that. Cray miss. The word is introvert. Isn't that what I said? Invert? Did I say invert? I hope I didn't say inverted. Did I say inverted? Inverted is a word that I got from when I used to fix televisions. There's inverters on the LCD and LED televisions. My bad. Yeah, introvert. That's the word that I was using. I thought I said introvert. My brain told me that I said introvert. But oh man, Leslie says he can do whatever he wants to do. They're Cuba. I'm not sure what that is. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that correction. I was gonna share some stuff on my Facebook. I've been saving some stuff on my Facebook to share, and I'm afraid that I just keep putting it off, and then I just never share it with you guys. I think it's time that I do. Let me verify that I'm not a bot first. Let's see. Select bridges. Bridge. I don't see any more bridge. Oh, one more. There we go. Hey, AI is so fantastic, ain't it? Yeah, inverted. I think I said inverted. I'm sorry. I apologize. You got to have a sense of humor, man. Introvert. Introvert is the correct word. Jesus. You know what? Maybe that's why I can never teach these libtards. Maybe I just didn't leer. Didn't leer right. Oh man, Cutting Edge says thanks for the super, brother. But remember, Dennis, you have to do your research too, because some of the AIs are biased, of course, and that's what I mean. So, like for example, okay, so for example, if I homeschool my kids, right? I got my some of my history books back here. I have what I really found interested in school. Okay, so I got the high school American history. Okay. I got a world history of events, key things in history, right, that has happened. And, these are things that you can study, but reading, depending on your eyesight or, how well you are at reading, you can always take reading classes, but the fact that you can have them give you all these illustrations, like for me, here, I'll give you an example. let's say Cray goes over here, or maybe any of you guys here. If you guys are readers, when I read in English, for some reason, my imagination gets blocked. I don't know how to tell you this. It's weird. Like I know what I'm reading, but there is no graphics. There's nothing that comes to my mind to elaborate into a visual what I'm reading. That only happens in English, and I don't know if it's because I always think 100% in Spanish, and then I'm always translating and able to speak in English. And you know how fast I talk, so it's a challenge. But whenever I read in Spanish, there is no translating, and I can actually see what I'm reading. Like, for example, right now I thought about it already, so I can see it. But for example, if I'm reading in English, there's a double-edged sword, and in this sword, there is a gem on the middle, and then so because I already know what it is that I'm going to say, I can visualize it. But if I'm reading it, the visual goes away. Does that make sense? It's a thing, okay? It's a thing. It's a thing. It is my thing. All right. So, with that being said, I have books in here for example, the Barbary Wars. So I know about the pirates, right? I know about the Somali pirates. I know about the African pirates on this side of the coast. What do you call that? On the western side of Africa, whatever, right? And then I know about the slaves. I know about American slaves, the white slaves. And I know about the African slaves that we brought from there. I know about the bribery that the pirates were getting. They were getting $1 million. They got $1 million for 10 years. Back then, that was a lot of money. And what do we see today in history? Today we see who? Somalis? No. Who do we see? Western pirates? No. Who do we see? Iran, right? The Ayatollahs. All of these little terrorist groups that are out there, the Ayatollahs, the Iran that has put all those mines on the ocean, they are holding us ransom. They want to get paid. What is it? $2-3 million? Hell no. I say we still got to get going. We got to get going. Now, I got some negative news to share with you guys. If you guys are optimistic and you're hoping for the best for America, but I'm going to tell you. Here's what I have a problem with. I know that what we say is true. I know that what we say, no matter how it looks like right now, I know we are right. And the problem is that there is a lot of fear mongering. See, the fear mongering comes from the Marxist side of socialism. And Democrats are always very good at fear mongering. And there's podcasters, there's influencers that have millions and millions of followers, and when they fearmonger people, they can be a problem for society. For example, Pizza Guy, he's lost. The guy's lost his marbles, and he really believes that Democrats are the best solution for this country, and it's just because they don't like Trump. All of these people that are against Trump right now, they never hate this guy before he became president. But they've been listening to the propaganda from the left, and all of a sudden, Trump bad. Trump is bad. Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson. Bro, there's a bunch of other guys out there, and most of them I don't watch, but I know they're out there. I mean, I watched Piers Morgan the other day, and there's this guy, his name is Dave, I think. He goes on the show, of course, with a T-shirt. What can you expect? No professionalism there. And he is one of those fear mongers. I mean, the Adam from the PBD podcast. I mean, number one, I don't know what the hell Adam is doing out there trying to go and be interviewed. The guy, it's half of the time he doesn't make sense. I'm sorry if this gets to Adam. It is what it is, bro. That's just the truth. But and I'm watching this guy, and he just fear mongering. Get our troops out of there. Get this done. Oh, get out. We lost the war. And like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to demoralize our soldiers? Are you against the United States of America flexing power because you don't like somebody? It's crazy. It's crazy. But we'll get back. We'll get back to Iran. First of all, let's get into. Let me see. All right. First, let's go ahead and go into. They don't look stupid. They are stupid. It's all about the Benjamins. Let's take a look. What is this about?
Welcome back to the show, Alabama Senator, Mr. Tommy Tuberville. Senator Tuberville, welcome, sir. I just wanted to put that little economic riff in there because, you know what, we have very good policies, and despite the war and the war jitters and the temporary energy shock, we're going to do just fine. Post-war America is going to do just fine. And the drill, baby, drill, and the tax cuts and the deregulation are going to propel us, I think, to a very strong, flourishing economy after this war is over. And the war itself, you know what? Victory in this war is itself a huge economic stimulant, if you ask me, Senator Tuberville. I think people are underestimating that, too.
Well, you're exactly right, Larry. I would have hated to have had a war like this under the Biden administration when we were not energy dependent, when our prices were out the roof, interest rates were very high, people out of jobs. It would have been devastating. But President Trump has got us back on track. That's the reason he could have done what he did, was go into Iran and try to get these crazies straightened out. But it's been hard. It's been hard on our military. But we've made a lot of progress. I'm proud of what President Trump has done. It's the only time in our lifetime we'd had an opportunity to get this nonsense straight in the Middle East, because it is a complete mess. And hopefully now that President Trump is working with Iran to come up with some kind of deal. We don't know what the gift was that they gave. It was probably either the Chinese are going to have to spend American dollars to buy their oil, which in the past they've been using their dollar, the yen, and then of course, obviously either tariff or tax the oil coming out of the Straits. That could be another gift, because we need somebody to help us pay for this war, not just the American taxpayers, but we went into Iraq, we lost lives and we lost money, trillions of dollars. We need for Iran to have to pay for the war that we went in and just spent probably $20–30 billion in the last month.
I want to go to the long lines in the airports and the TSA problem and not funding the Department of Homeland Security. There's still a lot of wrangling going on. But before, I want you to hear, I thought Mr. Trump made a very good move, putting the ICE agents to help out in the airports, to help out. Now, here's what Hakeem Jeffries had to say about putting ICE agents, by the way, maskless ICE agents is what Mr. Trump asked for, in the airports to help out temporarily. Take a listen to this one, please.
The last thing that the American people need are for untrained ICE agents to be deployed at airports all across the country, potentially to brutalize or in some instances kill them.
Kill them, to brutalize. So let me get this right. The ICE agents will come into the airports and just take out guns and start randomly shooting at people? Now, I know Iranians do that kind of thing, but where does he come off talking about ICE agents that way? Where does he come off? I mean, the guy's hallucinating. Where does he come off saying that?
They don't have a clue how to respond to President Trump. They hate him so much.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you that's all they do is fear monger? This is how they got Pretty Good killed. This is how they got Pretty and Good killed. By fear-mongering the people. And then people want to go be heroes on something that is fake. On something that is not happening. And they want to retaliate. And then they wonder why they get shot. They wonder why the violence and division in our country. You got to pay attention to that. You got to stop your hate for one guy that you don't even know why you hate him. For Pete's sakes, 100% of the people that go out there and protest, they don't know what the hell they're protesting. They don't know what the hell they're protesting. I'm serious. Like, I ask people, what's a lie? They don't tell me. Everything you say, okay, like what? Just tell me one thing of every. What's a lie? Oh, just tell me one thing. Correct me on one thing so I can learn. Everything you say, tell me what you said. No, you said everything I said was a lie. Where? Show me. Go ahead, show me. And they can't. Why do you hate Trump? He's a pedophile. No, that's hearsay. Why do you hate Trump? Oh, he's a racist. Oh, no. Hearsay, hearsay. Give me a fact. Don't tell me he's racist. You're stupid if you don't know who Trump is. They don't know why they hate him. I remind you of the old senior ladies, right, that I saw at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They were over there, and I said, isn't it great that the big, beautiful bill has passed? Do you guys like Trump? He's, oh, no, he said Trump is going to take away our Social Security. I was like, wait, what? I said, I'm sorry, who told you that? Yeah, that's what they're telling us. That's what they're telling us. That's why we went and protest. The old ladies were so cute. And I said, who told you this? They told us that President Trump is trying to take our Social Security away. I was like, I am so sorry, ma'am. No, that's not. Let me tell you, ladies, how it goes. The big, beautiful bill says that there will be no tax on Social Security for those who are retiring. I said, all the taxes that they take out of your checks, they take taxes, right? Yeah, they do. Okay, those taxes, you're going to be able to claim $6,000 on your returns next year. Are you sure? Yes, absolutely. And if it's two of you who are doing taxes together, then it's $12,000 that you can deduct from it. Oh my God, they lied. Listen, what are you having for lunch? What do you like? And they said, I bought them lunch, not to buy their vote. We don't need their vote, but just to tell them the truth. And that's fear mongering. I hate that the left does that. The left has a mentality of never try, never fail. And if you dare to see somebody trying, oh my God, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. This is the leftist mentality. If you are in here and you have that thought, think about it. And if you're a veteran and you are against what we are having right now, and you like to say, I wish Barron will enlist, I got a question for you when I get back.
Chris Murphy did the same thing. Senator Blumenthal did the same thing. Some very ignorant speeches or talks that they gave about how cruel ICE are going to treat the people in airports. They've lost their damn mind, Larry. They hate President Trump so much. Everything behind President Trump, they hide it because they're trying to pull away from the good things that President Trump is doing. But the thing that they're doing is they're making President Trump stronger, them weaker, because they don't look stupid, they are stupid. And at the end of the day, we will win out. The American people will win out. It won't be Republicans or Democrats. It'll be President Trump and the 77 million people that voted for him.
Yeah. Now, one other thing, Senator, I don't know about how this DHS thing is going to be resolved, okay? I know there may be more agreement on the Republican side, but I don't know. But here's what I think I know. If you want $200 billion add-on, supplemental for the Pentagon, which is very, very important, right? Our fighting men and women must be kept in the absolute best shape possible, tip-top shape. And if we want to fulfill President Trump's goal, and I believe it's your goal, to have a voting rights bill, Save America Act, real IDs and citizenship papers, the only way to do it, the only way you can get it, is a reconciliation bill, sir. This Kudlow plan, and I understand Senator Kennedy and others in the Senate are looking at this. Mike Johnson, Speaker Johnson, I've been preaching it here. You got to have a reconciliation bill, Senator Tubbs. There's no other way. 50 votes plus the vice president. You'll never get 60 votes. But if you want that whole package, okay, Save America voting rights, Pentagon, $200 billion. I don't know what else. Maybe you can have offsets. Maybe you can have some supply-side tax cuts. Who knows? I'm just saying you need reconciliation, sir. That's what you got to have to go for.
Yeah, we can't get anything done with 60 votes. We barely have 51. We have several Republicans that sometimes they don't look eye to eye with President Trump either. But at the end of the day, Larry, you're exactly right. You and I talked about this about a month ago. Anything we're getting done is going to have to be with 51 votes, and then we're going to have to work our tail off to get that done. We stayed on the floor 18 hours in July, Larry, if you remember this, just to get the one big beautiful bill done, and it was 51, and it took till 4 a.m. in the morning to get one person to vote for it so we could get it over the goal line. And so even 51 is not going to be very easy, but we're not going to get any Democrats to help us. They're just stalling President Trump. They're trying to run this country in the ground. They don't care about the American taxpayers. It's just embarrassing to see them, how they work behind the scenes, and by the rhetoric, as you just heard said a few minutes ago, of how they talk about this country. Yeah. It is absolutely amazing.
But I think, you know, to do the Lord's work here, reconciliation is the way to go. And I just think the senators, Republican senators, have to get moving on this, okay? It goes through Lindsey Graham's budget committee. I don't know what Lindsey's view is on it, but I just think reconciliation, and a lot of good things can come from that. There is time to do it, okay? It just has to get done. It just has to get done, and we have to be creative. I mean, I know the Voting Rights Act may require, but that's a fiscal issue. It's going to cost money, right, for national rulemaking on voting rights, state by. We don't run the actual elections, but the rules. That will cost money, just like closing the border costs money. When we did that a year ago, nobody thought that could be in reconciliation, but it was. So I'm just saying that's got to be the way to go.
We have to give it a try, Larry. You're exactly right. Put everything in there we want. See what the parliamentarian says. We have to have offsets for us. It needs to start in the House. Mike Johnson will do it. He said he would do it. Let's get it done. Let's get it started, because, you know, we just learned last hour that the Democrats have refused or working with them with DHS and funding all the other entities and leaving DHS out. They don't want to work with American people. They want to see people suffer in this country and blame it on President Trump. But guess what? The people are starting to realize what's going on here, because they're two-faced on the Democrat side. But if we do reconciliation, we can get it done. We just have to have some help from the parliamentarian, and we got to word it right at the end of the day.
You know, I still can't get over it. It's the second night we played it. Hakeem Jeffries, we got to go. I'm sorry. But Hakeem Jeffries actually saying that the ICE agents are going to go into an airport and start shooting people. I mean, how sick is that? That is just.
How do they get away with saying nonsense like that? That's what I want to know. How do they get away with saying nonsense like that? That is crazy. All right. So I'll tell you what. I want you to call in. And I want you to tell me, especially if you're a vet, if you're a military in the service or whatever, I want to get to know you. I want to understand where your mind is. And then I'm going to share a story. And I'm going to compare it to your answer. So I'm going to put my phone number there so that you can call, especially Leslie, that she's bored. Well, you know what, Leslie? Here's your chance. Let's dance, baby. Let's dance. Damn, Robert. Robert is waiting for me to go off on somebody. Robert, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. But I really want to get to the bottom of this. There's an itch that I've been trying to scratch. By the way, I try to use my long shoehorn to get the itch, but it didn't work because of my sweater. I should have go inside the shirt to scratch. But anyways, I got this little itch because I keep hearing or seeing people talk about, I wish Barron will enlist. I wish Barron would go to war. I wish. I want to know something, and I have a question for you. But why don't you go ahead and call me, and I want to hear your explanation of why. Why you want Barron or me or anybody else to enlist because of the war that's going on right now. I want to know. Here's how it goes. You and me, up and down, but maybe this time we'll get it right. In the end, all that matters, if you feel like leaving, I'm not gonna beg you to stay, 'cause soon you'll be finding you can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. You can run, you can hide, but you can't escape my love. Okay, come on. I'm singing here because you guys are boring me. Let's go. Veterans. Is there any veterans in here? Is there anybody that wants Barron to go serve in the military? I want you to call and tell me why. Jeffries is an idiot. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, Enrique Iglesias. Well, except he has a good voice. I don't. But yeah, Enrique Iglesias was one of my favorites. But I don't know. He made a couple of songs where he just got really nasty and kind of disrespectful to women. So I kind of don't follow the new songs. All right. All right. Quit phone and stop the singing. Love you, brother. Yeah, Baron can go. Here we go. Mr. Mayhem. Yes. Go ahead and tell me why. Why do you think they should go? I want to know. Where did you go? My libtards, where did you go? I wanna know. Oh, 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 oh. Where did you go? All right, Mr. Mayhem is probably not a libtard, but why don't you call in, Mr. Mayhem? Anybody, libtard, not libtard, it doesn't matter. You guys can call, and then I will tell you if you are a libtard or not. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Why does that matter? We have presidents that never went to war, that never served in the military. As a matter of fact, when I think of a president, of an American running for president, I don't think that they've gone to war. I really don't look at it like that. Let's see. While you guys grab the cojones to call in, let's do a little research. Let's see. Let's take a look. So we have 47 presidents. Well, we'll use 2 of those for Trump. Out of course, there's a lot of wars in our history. So here we go. We got over 30 presidents have served in the military. I will say, 15 of those didn't serve, including, 16, including President Trump. All right. Thank you for calling. Who's calling?
Hey, it's George.
George of the jungle. Watch out for that tree. What do you got, George? You know,
not much, bro. You said to call. I just saw the stream. What's up?
you said somebody had to call.
Yeah, man.
So here is a real question. Okay, I wanted veterans to call in for this because, I have this. How can I say it?
Am I supposed to be a veteran, you said?
No, I wanted veterans to call in because I have this thing where, I have a lot of veterans on my channel, and I appreciate everybody that has served. Man, I mean, I didn't serve in the military. I mean, I'm trying to run for executive chief here in Washington State, but, and that will be commanding the National Guard, which means the military, right? That's Army. So I think that kind of counts, right? But the thing is that, I have these mixed feelings because I know I'm very direct, when I make my comments, and it can be very offensive to those who have weak feelings. But that's offensive right there. But you know what I mean, right? They tell you about having thick skin and all that. But I have these mixed feelings because I have so much love for my veterans. I really do. But then when they call in, number one, they don't know my life. Even if I haven't served, they don't know the things that I've seen and the things that I have experienced in my life. And sometimes when they call in and they piss me off by cussing me out and saying all this stuff, and I got to go off on them. And sometimes I feel bad because, I don't want to take away from their honor, that they serve, their sacrifice. I mean, I appreciate all that, and I'm very thankful. But I don't know. Sometimes I get those, mixed feelings that maybe I am wrong. Maybe I should let them cuss at me.
I don't think you're wrong, man. Here's how I see it. Honestly, if they choose to attack you verbally and you defend yourself, honestly, that's on them. That's a decision they made. I mean, it's not going to take away from their honor necessarily, but still, it's not. You shouldn't feel bad.
Well, I call them traitors. I call them traitors. I think that's the worst insult I can give them. Traitors.
I mean, even then, that's your opinion. It shouldn't affect them like personally. Even if I was trying to do something and I'm not good at it, it's hard to like, you're shit. You should quit. Like, okay, bro, I'm shit. That's what you think. Let me get better. You know?
Yeah.
Type shit.
Well, and and I'm sure you've seen this. The one thing that they always, what do they say about ICE agents? Or they're trained professionals, and that, when people are cussing at them in their face, they should just stand there, and they are trained to be, tough, right? And so
Yeah,
when
but a
you
lot
know what
of
I'm saying, when I get a
people.
soldier that goes crazy on me like that, it's like PTSD, or you're just a softie. Like, which one? Just please tell me it's PTSD, because I can understand that. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I just, to try to have a conversation, and they don't want to have a conversation. They already have their mind made up. They don't want me to explain anything. That's
I
just
mean,
crazy.
if you're not open to other ideas, there's no point on you even being on here. To be honest.
Right. Yeah, no, man. I don't know. Sometimes I feel, I'm gonna say the things that trigger me the most is, when I care about people, and they just don't let me help them. It bugs me, and I always say this when I get, beyond my cup. I always say this: I wish I didn't give a shit about anybody, and then these words wouldn't hurt me. It wouldn't hurt me that I'm trying so hard to help people, and they're the ones trying to drown me as I'm trying to save them. It's like, I wish I didn't care sometimes. That way, yeah, it wouldn't bother me. Thick skin, everything would just, not no arrows would land on my heart.
Hey,
But
man,
they don't get it.
but that's what makes people stand out. The fact that you care about others like that, even though they degrade you sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you still continue to do what you do. That just says a lot about you, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I know they'll never see it that way because they're playing politics. I don't play politics. I know where I stand, and I know that I talk politics and I talk religion, but it's, that's not who I am. That's not where I lay. I am simply a third party person looking at the politics from the different perspective, and it just happened to be that right now the Republicans are doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's just what I believe, though. And people don't like it. Do I think Republicans are perfect? Hell no. I know some Republicans that I don't like, but
What's your opinion on ICE, bro?
on ICE, I support ICE 100%.
I support the idea of what they're doing, but I don't support how they're doing it.
It's the reaction. Is what I'm telling you. So the reason why I tell you that is because they expect ICE to just sit there, like no feelings, and then I get this like warrior soldiers going off on me with all these emotions. Like, what happened to your professionalism? What happened to your training and your whole? You're supposed to sit back and be cursed at, and you're not going to react. But when they call me, they show me the opposite. When you look at the chat, they show me the opposite of all that. So I really want to understand, and I'm waiting for one veteran that tells me why they say that Barron or any of us should go serve in the military. Now, I'm going to tell you just right now, the reason why they say that is because they think it's horrible. But that's not the question that I have for them. It's a different question. I'm waiting for them to call so I can ask them. So that's what I said. I want a veteran to call me because I want you to explain it to me. You know what I mean? Like, I will give you this. When I have been in my most depressive moment, I know this is, I was a weak person, and I fell into this really like deep depression because my wife cheated on me after 7 years together, 3 kids, etc. I went over 33, almost 34 days without eating right or sleeping right. It's just very depressed. I will laugh halfway, and nothing will bring me joy or happiness or anything. And I it was so dark. It was like drowning in air. It was so weird. It's so dark. And I said, you know what? I don't wish my worst enemy to feel what I'm feeling right now. It was such a bitter darkness. I've never experienced that ever in my life. And I let myself go deeper and deeper into this. And I said,
it's just a tunnel of despair. I understand.
yeah, it's like a very bad despair. And I said, I don't wish this on anybody, not on my worst enemy. So I kind of gave away the question, right? why are you saying that you want Barron to go to war? If you feel war was that bad, what kind of patriot are you? If you really feel, see, I'm going to show you the difference, okay? Because I always like to show both sides. Why would you say send Barron to go to war if you know that is horrible? If you know how hard it was to see your friends being lost, your teammates, you know what I'm saying? Your family, your soldier family. If you know how horrible that is, why would you wish that on anybody, right? And that's the negative part. Now, this is my part. This is the other side of what I see. To me, if I tell you, bro, you got to enlist. You got to fight for this country. I want my children to be in the military. Bro, I'll be the proudest father if my kids came and told me, I want to serve in the military, Dad. Marines, Army, whatever. I wanted to go Army. But, whatever, military service they want to do. They will bring pride into my life. And of course, I don't want nothing bad to happen, but there is no life more honorable than to die for your brothers and sisters. And I don't mean like in the stupid movies, right? Oh, I will die for you, my queen. Show me. Kill yourself. No, that's stupid. That's not how that goes. And, I like to look at different points of views in life and arguments. That's how I am. What do you think about that, about those ideas? Which one do you think that you should be promoting, or how would you do that? I know I'm putting you in the spot a little bit, but
to be honest, I don't even know.
Have you ever thought about it that way, though? Like, have you thought, okay, I was miserable, it's horrible, I don't never want to go to war. Hey, why don't you go to war? Think about that, right? What is the incentive? What is the inspiration that I'm giving you from that?
Dude, honestly, I would enlist for the military, but the way I see it is this country used to be about, opportunity, the land of opportunity.
Yeah.
And I feel that was majorly because we all contributed, it wasn't just like, and then we started being like, oh, it's our stuff and like, go back to your country type shit. And I was like, and I'm like, bro, it's like, everybody helped out to build this great nation. You can't just be like, this is ours now,
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not like that, it just doesn't really give me inspiration to go fight for what am I fighting, really?
So think about this. We wouldn't have any of that if the people that died already for this country didn't die.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I respect everybody that.
Yeah. So if I'm a veteran, right? If I'm a veteran, I can tell you, sometimes I wish that I would have been able to serve in some capacity. But I'm going to tell you, even if it was an office or a desk job or anything like that, they would still not listen to me anyway. It doesn't matter if I have experience or not. I have vets. Jason Martin, he's a veteran, right, Jason? And then also Jason Beatrice, his son is in the military. His son told him, and he told us, his son said, I can't wait, Dad. I'm ready to go. You put me in, coach, sort of attitude. And I can tell you, I've always been, in life, I have always been a very good coach. Believe it or not, I have been a very, very good coach. And I have been an average player. And even then I was very good, okay, as an average player. And it's just a matter of how the coach places you, right, in places. I can tell you that if I'm going to get some recruits, I will never send in an agent or a sergeant or whoever it is, a recruiter, to go and say, the military is horrible, I lost my family, I lost my friends, and they died in the war, and I saw this and I saw that. Enlist and serve your people, serve your country. That's not inspirational. But if you go and say, listen, son, I serve in 11 tours. I've seen my brothers fall left to the right. But that American flag always stood. And the Civil War, in every wars that we've gotten, soldiers have died, not for your freedom. Think about this. Soldiers have died not just for your freedom and my freedom. They died just simply because they wanted to raise the American flag. I don't know about you, but it chokes me up inside and it makes me want to cry of the courage that, oh my gosh, dude, it's like I have no words to describe how much honor they give me to know that these soldiers exist. And when I see people burning the American flag, bro, pissing on it, stomping on it, putting it upside down, and then raising other foreign countries' flags, come on, man. And veterans are doing this. Veterans are out there burning the American flag. Like you just told me that you lost your brothers and sisters left to right. You saw death. You stared death in the face. And you saw your brethren die in war. Pieces flying everywhere. You just gave me this whole gruesome, horrible history of what you experienced. And you're burning the very flag that they died to raise.
You see, bro, but I honestly, I agree with what you're saying. Well, the thing is, I also see it from kind of like a little bit of their point of view, bro, because, we have some ICE agents shooting fucking civilians.
Well, I know about the 2 deaths. And that I mentioned that. Did I mention that right now or earlier? I must have mentioned that earlier.
I mean, it doesn't matter what the situation was. That should not have happened, regardless.
Police officers have done that as well.
Well, yes, police officers do that.
Yeah, it's not the overpower of authority. And don't get me wrong, that exists. Okay, there's always the little cocky one, right? The power trip. I get it. That does happen. But when
what usually happens with cops and when there's like an accidental shooting like that, it's usually a suspect or someone armed. But it's not like you're out in the street and a lady gets pushed and you're trying to help the lady and then you get shot in the back of the head.
Yeah, I see that. I get that. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay, I wish the guy didn't get shot, but I also wish the guy was not there. I mean, he was a nurse and he was protecting life. I get it, but you don't show up there with a gun, bro. Especially if you're gonna fight them, you just don't want to have a gun with you. That was mistake number one. But there's other situations about. We don't want to go into that one. I talk about this a lot, and I believe that it's justified, but that's just me, and it has nothing to do with Trump. This has nothing to do with Trump. I understand ICE. Now let me tell you a story. And I don't know if you heard this, but there was a group of teenagers. They thought it was funny to throw a rock over the bridge, over the freeway.
Yeah, and it killed the lady. He went through the shield.
It killed the husband, I think it was. But it killed the person, period, right? A rock, just dropping it. Now, what do you think ICE should do? Let's say you and me, right? We're ICE, and we're good people. We love people, but we got to get these people out of this country. What would you do if we were pulling out of a parking lot and you saw a bunch of other people that were not there for them, and you saw a bunch of people and they threw a brick through the window of our car and it hit me? What would you do? Would you get out and shoot somebody?
Well, I don't know about shooting them.
Well, what would you do? Throw another brick at them? Mind you, it's not one person. It's a lot of them. So what would you do, if they're throwing objects that can literally kill you?
I mean, honestly, if I was in this situation and I would have actually gone to the police training, I would retreat and call backup.
Well, I mean, they did, obviously. That's what I mean. Like ICE agents, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and they have a lot of tolerance. I mean, I would have got out of the car and started shooting people. That's horrible. I would have shot. I wouldn't try to kill them, but I will definitely make some shots out there. I will definitely shoot the ground, etc.
Like a warning shot or something.
Yeah, of course. But I would definitely drop some bullets on the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let it be known. But these guys are so patient, man. And we have a lot of videos that we can go look back and see Antifa and see illegal immigrants taunting. I mean, number one, they're illegal, or they're anchor babies. Their parents are illegal. Instead of behaving, they give Hispanics, they give us a bad name.
Yeah,
It's,
I
it, you
understand
know?
that, but you have to understand it's not everyone. Like,
No, no, I get it,
there's
but it's
it's
not all
extremely
ICE
hard to.
agents either killing people,
I
right?
know,
Two
but
incidents.
there's evil in the world. We can agree on that, right?
100%. And like I said, I don't think that they should have been killed, but it happened. What are we gonna do now? What you know? The only thing I can do is tell people, as I've been saying it from the beginning, protest peacefully. I'm telling you, myself, I can only handle so much cursing at me and insults. I just don't have the nervous system to put up with it. So I definitely need people around me that are going to be positive, that are going to stop me from doing something stupid. So when I run for office, I hopefully I have a couple of big guys that can control me and protect me, not just from the other people, but from myself.
I have a point. I wanted to leave my mind because I'm thinking about it right now.
Okay, go ahead,
Like,
bud.
you were saying about what were we talking about just now? Dang it, it's left
Ice.
my
We're
mind.
still ice. We're still icing, killing agents and killing civilians.
Okay, yeah, it's the killing. So it happened, like you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what should happen now? Like, should we just ignore like the fact that somebody killed somebody, or
No,
let them
well,
go free? Shouldn't there be some accountability? Like, what happens if a cop kills somebody on accident? That cop doesn't just get to walk away, does he?
It depends. Of course, it depends. But
It depends on the situation, of course. But
yeah,
like,
but in this case, think about this. The police don't have people blowing whistles on their ears. Okay, you know what that does, right? What do you think a lot of noise does to you?
it just overstimulates
It,
you.
it, it oh, absolutely, and it disorients you, and you have this adrenaline pumping through your body, and you have all this noise. One of the things that noise can do, and they do this because they want to drown the commands of the ICE agents. Step back, right? They want to drown that, so they make all this noise to drown that. Uh, I was trying to make this point with somebody, and they just cussed me out and hung up on me. But I was trying to make this point out, and I said, listen, I get it. The guy got shot. I mean, once somebody says gun and somebody's trying to reach, they're dead. And there's going to be many clips, unloaded on this person, even if they're on the ground. That's just how it goes when you have adrenaline and all this crazy chaos going on. But, we try to look at the situation, right? Yes, I agree. The guy that pushed the lady was already out of the way. I think the guy shouldn't have pushed her. Number one, okay? That's out of the question.
I
But,
don't even think they should have been there to begin with.
well, they shouldn't be protesting on the middle of the street. You're right. They shouldn't. They should have been on the sidewalk. And they can be yelling from the sidewalk, but you don't obstruct. You don't impede. And unfortunately, governors and mayors have been telling people to do that. And that's against the law. That is actually a felony, and they can be arrested for it. I'm surprised that more people have not been arrested and still in jail. Like, they're out. They're good. And so I'm surprised. But the fact is this: you have a guy has a gun on his back waist, on the waist on his back, right? He's on the ground. He's wrestling with the ICE agents. I get it. These guys are not looking at the back. They're trying to get this guy in handcuffs. Number one, if it doesn't fight, it never gets to this point. Okay, number one. Number two, the guy did reach for his gun, even though it wasn't there anymore, right? Number three, the ICE agent says gun, right? And at
Wait,
this,
the guy reached for his gun?
yeah, he did. He tried to reach back for it, but he already had it. He was already disarmed. But here's the thing that the fight that I'm making on this case, the case that I'm making on this situation. It's the guy says gun. Think about it. You and me, boom. We hear gun. We're both in adrenaline. We're rushing this guy. You know how it is when you're wrestling. Have you ever wrestled? I used to do all that stuff, so I know how it goes, And so your adrenaline's pumping and this and that, and you can hear your breathing. You know what I mean? Like you can hear your own self
I
going up.
understand.
Okay, so imagine
so
that
actually-
you heard gun, right? And then plop, plop, plop. You hear all this noise, and the guy said, "I got it." Nobody knows. All we heard was gun, and you and I are unloading, my friend. It's very unfortunate that it happened. I'm just saying, that if we're going to hold the ICE agents responsible for this, then all those people that were making noise next to them should also be responsible. And I will say that they're, what do you call it when somebody's involved? There's a word for it.
Obstructing?
No. So I'm the criminal, but you are my accessory.
Accessory?
Yeah, you're my accessory to murder, right? I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. My English is horrible sometimes. But yeah, you're accessory to
no, I
murder.
consider manslaughter because that's what they like. I don't know.
It's like I said. Once they heard gun, just unload on the guy. I wouldn't have, honestly. I don't think I would have. But
I think I would have unloaded either.
I mean, do you want to wait for one of your boys to get killed or get shot?
No.
You know
To be honest,
it's
to be
shady,
honest,
bro. It's shady. We will never be able to agree, man. I'm on your side as well. I know I'm on both sides. But all I can say is protest peacefully. Stop listening to these damn morons that tell you to go and obstruct. I mean, for Pete's sakes, bro, we have illegal immigrants out there trying to belittle and insult and just do whatever the hell they want with our federal agents, our federal American agents. I just can't put up with that shit. No, I know my people can be just as horrible as the next person next to me. I know my Latino community. I know. It's a big difference when somebody, abides by the law. What is the best advice somebody can give you? Listen, don't retaliate to the police officer. If he tells you to get out of the car, get out of the car. And you know what? If they do something that is illegal, take them to court and you fight in court. But you never fight in person. And what do we see in social media? Videos of people being asked for the license and registration. Yes, I see the power trip sometimes. But I see license and registration. What for? What for? And all of a sudden, it's like they start fighting with it. It's like, bro, just stop it. Stop it. Stop trying to escalate for likes and views. Okay? Just comply. And if they do something illegal, F them up in court. It's that simple. And so, you know what I'm saying? So if ICE agents are going to go and rough you up when you already have your hands behind you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a case. But if you're fighting and you don't want to put your hand back there, that's resisting. And when you resist, you get the knee in the back.
But I think that's one of the biggest issues. There's a lot of people getting roughed up, citizens, and
yeah, because they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there.
Even people just getting detained. People not the people protesting, but the people getting detained. Like the people that are quote unquote suspected, like they don't even know if they're immigrants or not, but they're getting taken into these detention centers. They're getting abused, like being. And there's no like nothing happening to the ICE agents that do all this shit. It's like.
Well, I know some of them got in trouble.
Free card. Like, hello?
Yeah. No, and I'm not going to defend every person, but I stand for ICE. I stand 100% behind ICE.
I stand for what ICE is supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't stand for what they're doing.
You know how we wouldn't have this conversation? If we didn't have Antifa, dumbasses out there, being idiots on their protests. They're entitled. I've always said that we have rights. We got legal rights. These are not human rights. We have legal rights, and we should always be very, very responsible on how we enforce those. For example, Second Amendment, right? I'm 100% Second Amendment guy. Would I pull my gun on you just because you are over here yelling at me? No. If you come at me with a knife, you're getting shot. You know what I mean? It's that simple. I'm not Chuck Norris. May he rest in peace. I'm not Chuck Norris. You will stab me if I let you come closer. But I wouldn't pull my gun at all. I have got arguments with people. My gun doesn't come out. They don't even know I have a gun. But if it gets to a point where, like, for example, I have my kids in the car and I start getting surrounded by people protesting, somebody's getting run over. And they better not blame me for that, because they are getting in my way. And I have the right of way while I'm driving. I give pedestrians the right of way at the lights and crosswalks, etc. But when you're out there surrounding my car and pounding on my window, oh, hell no. I just can't put up with that. And I'm with Florida sheriff, like in this case. They don't put up with stuff like that. And I think that one of the biggest problems that we have, not just here in Washington or whatever, in Minnesota, everywhere, is when we have soft. What do you call it? Soft on crimes. Soft what? Soft enforcement on crime? No, I can't think of the damn word. But when you're soft on crime, people get entitled. They think they're entitled to just be a fool. There is you can get arrested for just what do you call it? Disorderly conduct. You can get arrested for acting a fool on the street, even though you think you have your freedom of speech. But if you're causing, like the Antifa in Oregon, I'm sure you've seen the videos, right? They're playing all this tough music and all this noise, and the neighbors are like, "What the hell, man? It's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I'm trying to sleep." They don't care. Oh, we're protesting. No, bitch, you're disorderly conduct right now. You're disturbing the peace, and that is an arrestable offense. So there you go. I think that I'm going to be tough on crime, because I believe that the majority of the people that we have are law-abiding. I believe they're good people. And I understand the emotional part of it. People don't like to see people get in trouble. It's an emotional reaction. I get it. I don't like it when my wife is disciplining my kids. But, hey, I know when I discipline it, I don't like it. But they need to be disciplined. And, yeah, it breaks my heart.
Talking about crime, what's your stance on marijuana?
If you want to get high, man, get high. But just don't do it in front of me, please.
Well, like on the legality.
Legality? Yeah, I think people should. I think marijuana is their freedom. Just like, well, it's not like tobacco, but
I feel like it's too demonized, bro. I feel like it's a lot healthier than alcohol.
Well, I wouldn't use the word healthy at all. But yeah, you're right. It's. I was always brought up that it was a criminal activity.
And that's what I was taught.
I'm old school.
That's what they were told. That's how I was brought up. Never do that. Promise me, you'll never do that type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I got friends that smoke weed, and I just tell them, bro, you stink. Just like when I used to smoke cigarettes, bro, you stink. Yeah, that is true. I smell like a damn ashtray sometimes, But it's been 3 years since I smoked, so I have a friend that this guy smokes weed like he needs to breathe it every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he ever stopped smoking. I think he smokes 24/7. I think he has a joint in his mouth when he's asleep. It's just horrible. But I love the guy. Nobody's perfect, man. I think the government has been legalizing things when it's their convenient, and they punish us when we do things that we don't think is bad. Like, for example, here in Washington, it's legal to have recreational marijuana. I mean, for Pete's sake, we have hemp fests over here in the summer. They throw out free joints to the crowd. Who knows if they're laced or something? I wouldn't use them, but they do. At the hemp fest in Seattle, they give away free weed. And the government saw that they can collect a lot of taxes on it. So they got into business. They made it legal so that they can get into business. They say that
it can also be used for construction.
Huh? What do you mean? The money?
No, the hemp is used as a fiber for construction.
Okay, knock it off. Now you're reaching.
No, seriously, dude, seriously.
I'm just messing with you. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. But it definitely has medicinal purposes. It does.
It was great talking to you. I gotta let you go because my wife's about to get off work and I gotta go pick her up.
Man, good questions, man. Keep your mind clean, man. You're in the right place. It's okay for you to judge the way you do. I really mean it. You don't have you're not wrong about your thoughts on what you said at all.
All
right. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
All right. So sorry about that. I don't like to cut people off, especially when I feel like I'm making progress here and we're actually having a good conversation. So if you were calling, please, by all means, you can call now. Take advantage. It's free. It's free, guys. It's free. If you guys want to put a super chat, thank you for that. I appreciate it. But it's not mandatory. That's just a way that you show your support to me, and I appreciate it. Let's see if we can get these likes a little bit up there. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Thank you, Sterling. I'm going to be very, very honest. I selfishly don't want to run for governor. anymore, because I feel like I'm postponing my plans, and I'm seeing that I'm just time is a wasting. You know what I mean? But I just can't stand and do nothing. I got to be able to at least get my voice out there. Go join some podcasters, go on the news. Deliver my message, talk about what's going on, what do we want to change. Things like that. I got to be able to do that, and then I think that I'm gonna be satisfied to go on about my plans in my life. I'm almost a half a century old, and there's people that are politicians until they die. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician. I'm just a very concerned citizen. I'm a very appreciative migrant that came to this country, and I want to be able to do something. If I didn't get to serve in the military, I want to be able to do something now that I am a citizen. And who knows? We'll see what else we can do. But yeah, Java, that's right, man. Trump didn't want to be president, but there you go. And it's all in God's time. Here in Washington State, if you've been watching my podcast, you know that here in Washington State is crazy. If you don't run for governor, Bernier will be disappointed. That is true. Bernier is my biggest supporter when it comes to that. He sent out some money already. He zells me the money, so it doesn't count as a YouTube money. But that's something that I always can repay back, and so that's actually pretty good. Let's see. For some people, that's where it starts. You come here, then tell us how to govern our country. Why not fit Honduras? That's a fair question, Riley. The difference, and I always say this to people. I always pour my heart out. If you come to my lives all the time, you know that I pour my heart out to people. I'm an open book. There's some things that when people ask me maliciously, I don't appreciate that. But that's a legit question. So here's the thing. I came to this country when I was 13, and because I have the option, it's hard for me to decide, but it will make it a lot easier for me if I was, let's say, for example, I wasn't a citizen. If I didn't decide to become a citizen, and I was here illegally, right? I will have the excuse of saying, because people always bring it back either way. Okay, in Honduras, if I go back to Honduras, the people in Honduras, like family and friends, they're gonna be like, "What the hell, bro? You gave up the United States. You were legal. You have papers. You speak the language. You're gonna tell me you couldn't do it?" So I had to respond to that, and if I say, "Well, I got deported," it'd be less of a shame if I came back there and walked away from the land of opportunity. But I would love to serve Honduras. That's fine. I would love to sell. See, hey hippie, see redneck. This is why I don't want you in here. Don't play those jokes with me, bro. I'm trying not to block you permanently. Just don't play like that, please. That's it. Just don't play like that. Don't play stupid. I know, redneck. I know. But don't play like that. I don't appreciate that. So, with that being said, most of my life I have spent here in the United States of America, and if I do find that nothing is going to get done in Honduras, who knows? Maybe I'll renounce my citizenship, my American citizenship, and I'll run for president in Honduras, even if I lose. And then I'll just stay in Honduras. Who knows? Maybe I can request a visa to come back again. That's it's either way. It doesn't matter to me. Adam knows. Hand that right, Adam. ¿Qué pasa, mi hermano Catracho? You like how I said that with your accent? Adam knows. Adam knows I'm from Honduras. He knows that I love Honduras, even if it's not the safest place. I think that, President Trump, thank God, is working with the president of Honduras. And, crime. It's not an easy thing to get rid of. They got to fight it, and they got to be able to control it. But yeah, I would feel the same, and I think that if it came down to it, and I wanted to run for president in Honduras, will my life be in danger? Probably, but I would still do it. I would renounce to the American citizenship, but I would work so hard to make sure that Honduras has a great relationship with the United States of America, because I believe that the United States of America is the greatest country on earth, even if we look like the bad guys right now. Every time that we go and free people from their tyrant government, we always look like the bad guys. But at the end of the day, whether we get oil, whether we get rare earth minerals, we are also giving the people what they're asking for. And I think it's a fair exchange. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. Carrie, hey, Carrie. Carrie says, I don't care where you're from. You're a good, thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that. You know what? All my family, like you see the blues and greens on there, those members, those are my family here in the States. And I don't mean blood family. I mean American family. Oh, we got a call from Florida here. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Hey, what's up, Dennis? This is Buster.
Buster, what you got for me, brother?
Not much, man. I was just wondering your views on things right now. I kind of just tuned into the stream.
Yeah, but what's in your mind? Yeah, what's in your mind?
Well, I mean, so I've seen quite a bit about, Trump lately. What's your thoughts on Trump as the president right now?
I support him 100%.
Do you think he supports you?
I think he's doing what I wanted him to do when I voted for him, yeah.
What's that?
I wanted him to control the border. I wanted him to come and help our Latin American countries. I wanted him to control the drugs coming into our country. I want him to... Right? Huh? I'm sorry, what?
You said you're from Honduras, right?
Yeah.
Right on. Didn't he pardon the president from Honduras, the Juan Orlando guy that was convicted of drug trafficking?
That's right. Do you know about Juan Orlando?
I only know that.
I know you say you're new to my channel, but yeah, that's also my president. Yeah, absolutely, good guy. He's a good man.
So why did he get arrested for that and convicted for that?
Yeah. So, long story short, okay. This is a man that was Speaker of the House in Honduras. He supported a general that shut down 3 planes coming from Venezuela because he felt that they were full of drugs. They had the transponders turned off or whatever. The Communist Party in Honduras, who, yes, they disguise themselves as Democrats as well as here. They call Liberal Party, okay? They are communist. Now, President Juan Orlando never...
Wait, when you say communist, what is...
Oh, no, I will show you. I will tell you. And so they were against President Juan Orlando because he made a war on the cartels, just like President Trump did, except he didn't have backing. But, President Juan Orlando never recognized Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela because he's a dictator communist. They started the government in Venezuela as a socialist, where socialism works as long as you have wealth. But once the wealth runs out, they have no choice but to take businesses away from the people, and that's what makes them communists. And so the president won the election in Honduras. Of course, there's always some shady deals that everybody thinks somebody cheated or whatever. That exists.
Not here.
Yeah, no, not here. We don't do that here. That never happens. And so the president that was against him, he couldn't run for president anymore. So he had his wife do it, right? So his wife ran for president. And when they lost, they made up the story that he was in bed with the cartels. When he's the one,
I heard that he got trapped. They said that the prosecutors
they entrapped him,
trafficking 400 tons of cocaine.
Yeah, and the thing is that he's been working right at this time. He's been working with the Biden administration, meaning sharing information, giving intel, blah blah blah, and then he receives threats from the person that died, the person that lost, and they threaten his family. So he's like, you know what? No. I'm going to turn myself in. We're going to go to the States, and once they see that I'm innocent, then I can come back to my family, and these people cannot touch me. So they did that.
Trump pardoned him because he thought he got set up.
Correct, and I believe it. So just so you know, the guy, you remember Shifty Shift, yeah? So there's a guy.
You take everything he says like steal his nicknames for people?
No, I just think it's funny. Even Bill Maher did, man.
He's kind of shifty. I don't even like lie on that.
He's very shifty, bro. I mean, just the nick, it just fits, okay? But yeah, if it bothers people, I don't even know what his name is, to be honest.
No, it's Adam Schiff. It's
Adam, that's right. Adam Schiff, my bad. Stop messing with me, man. And so the whole thing was that as soon as he got convicted, right, the lady became the president in Honduras. And the first thing she did was recognize Nicolas Maduro as president, legitimate president of Venezuela. And the rest is history. Drugs continue to traffic.
Deals going on, basically.
Absolutely, man. They're dirty. Right now, she's being investigated. She's being investigated. And the generals that I'm going to tell you, man, it's just crazy. So in Honduras, the government is almost the same as the way the government is run over here. She gave, some people think it's okay, but she gave millions. Now, when I say millions, I don't mean dollars. I mean lempiras, which is it's still a lot of money, but it's not like here. You know what I'm saying? Like if I say I'm going to give you 20 lempiras, oh, shit, no, you can probably buy 2 houses. That's it.
Right.
If I give you $20 million, you can probably buy a community, right, of small houses.
Right.
But yeah, that's what happens over there, and that's what I mean with
you running for office there in Washington?
Washington State, yeah, not D.C. No, Washington State.
Yeah, not the District of Columbia.
Right, that's not the state.
Right on. Yeah, I got
Yeah.
you. So what's your stance on things? Are you like far right or like Trump? Conservative? Like where are you at on the spectrum?
That's funny. So everybody thinks that I'm like Trump, and they're not wrong. I don't know how to say. It's like I support Trump 100%, but this is why. Okay, it's not because I agree with his personal life, with his marriages and bankruptcies and all his business and stuff. It's not because of that, but because we have the same policies. He might not be a Christian.
What policies does he have? What are the policies besides the border thing and closing the border thing?
I like that. That's exact. I like that. I like when people ask me these questions because one of the policies is that we're trying to keep men out of women's sports, right? That to me is very important. I am.
No, all right. I got to push back at you a little bit right here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because that is a very small majority of our country that we are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goaded into like being into a culture war over when that's really not the biggest issue pressing against America.
No, but here in Washington it is. And so here, I'll give you an example so you know what I'm talking about. So I support.
No, how many people do you know? Like, how many people do you know that this has been an issue for?
Oh, the whole Seattle. It's just the whole state over here.
I don't know. I mean, like, you got like names, like instances, like how many anecdotal, like opinions or anecdotal.
Every Antifa member, every LGBTQ member.
Every Antifa member is transgender?
No. They stand against the rights of Christians.
The rights of Christians?
Yeah. I believe everybody's rights are everybody's rights.
You think Trump's a Christian?
No, I don't care what he is on his spiritual life.
You don't care what he is, but you support him all the way.
Why not?
I mean, I just think that I don't think that he would piss on any of us to put out the flames if we were on fire.
I don't know. He's shown me the opposite. I know his whole history.
How has he showed you the opposite of that?
Yeah, he's given the most money and support to the black community, what the Democrats offer and promise but never deliver. He's the one that tried to put the homeless into a hotel. He's the one that has stood up for the communities that are poor. He's the one that's been feeding people. He's the one that's been taking care of the city.
He's also the one that got a full-page ad in the New York Times when the 5 kids got accused of rape.
Oh, good. I like that. So why do you think he did that?
Because he's you know what?
I bet you're wrong.
I bet you I'm not.
But go ahead and give it to me. I looked into that story.
I bet you his dad's been also accused of not renting to black people, and he's definitely following.
No. Okay, so how would you? So when you read the story, did you read the story?
Read what story? Which one? The one about the red?
About the 5K? About the 5? Yeah, the Fantastic Five. Okay.
The Fantastic Five? Are you serious?
Yeah. Just have some sarcasm.
They're the exonerated 5 now, bro.
I get you, but that's what I'm saying. Fantastic Five. Use the sarcasm well.
The only reason they got exonerated too is because the guy who actually did it came out and actually admitted to it. That's the only reason that they got off of this shit.
Okay, so with the information that Trump received, how would you have reacted?
Not taking out a full-page ad asking for the death penalty for him.
Well, I mean, again, this is why I don't like people making false testimonies because that's a big mess up, right, on his part. I don't blame him completely because they lied to him.
Yeah,
they told them there were facts.
That whole state, the DAs,
right?
all those people, they were all behind that. That was a huge problem.
But that's what I don't like with people that come in and say, "Oh, he's a pedophile." Come on, you're.
Well, hey, wait, I got a question for you then.
Go ahead.
I got a question for you. So you support him 100%. So what is there anything you could do that you would stop supporting him?
Yeah, if it came out to be that he is guilty in the Epstein files, yeah, I'll stop supporting him. But the policies, I will continue to support.
Okay, so the policies of him being supposedly good
like right
for
now,
the black community and supposedly the border thing, right?
Not just that, but remember the job of the president, right? The commander in chief of the United States, not the governors. Only the president has to deal with foreign relations and dealings and agreements and peace treaties and all this other stuff. I support all of that. If he is guilty of whatever they say that he's guilty,
with Russia, or peace treaties with China, peace treaties with Iran, peace treaties with our allies.
hopefully he is on the right track. I can tell you this: none of us know what would happen. Yeah, none of us know what would happen.
I'm tired of people saying that they think that Trump's got a secret agenda or some kind of plan behind this because he hasn't come out and said it. And honestly, the intelligence community, even Tulsi Gabbard, couldn't even say it herself because she knows that Iran wasn't really an imminent threat with the nukes.
No, she said that her findings were that there was no imminent threat, but it's not her job. It's not her job to say that.
She said, but it is her job.
No, it's the president's call. Only the president can say that.
What is her title?
I know what her title is, but what I'm saying is, listen to here.
Can you say what her title is?
DNI. Let me put it this way.
Director of National.
Yes. Okay, I got you, but I want you to pay attention because if you don't pay attention, you're not going to understand why I think the way I think, and I'm sure that you want to understand why I think the way I think, right?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. There is a group of people that are going to sit there with President Trump. They are going to go look at the intel, right? So here's where I'm at, okay? So if I was in that group, this is what I would point out. First of all, 47 years of warring against us. Death to America. Okay, you know what? Whatever, pissant. We don't care. No big deal.
47 years of Bibi Netanyahu telling us that.
Bibi Netanyahu and Israel, they've been getting their asses kicked every single year. Somebody's always trying to go after Israel, so they're going to look like the bad guys because they have to defend themselves.
How about the last 2 years that they've been?
Let me rephrase that. They haven't been getting their ass kicked. People have tried to kick their ass, but they just can't. So because they winners, they look guilty.
Was actually legit?
Yeah, I think so. I'm a big Israel supporter.
October 7th you think that Charlie Kirk was wrong about him saying that it took that as long as it did for their response to that?
No, but he's entitled to his opinions, and that's okay. We can have a dialogue.
We're talking about the IDF and Mossad. You think?
Yeah, those are opinions.
Not like top of the tier as far as that comes when it comes to intelligence.
Those are opinions. I would disagree with Charlie Kirk and many things probably. Especially with religious people. Okay, so let me finish up with the explanation of this DNI. Okay, so we did a precision strike on the nuclear facilities, right? We were successful. We believe it was successful. It was obliterated. Obliterated. Fantastic. So here's the thing. All right, so President Trump, our intel says that there's no imminent threat, at least from what we can see here. And but the nuclear facility is still destroyed. For what we can tell, they are not trying to get that uranium out, and they're not trying to. Hold on, let me finish. So let me finish. Yeah, absolutely. Let me finish. So so I don't think this is the intel. This is what we got. This is what's happening. And then I hear their own leaders talking in public television and saying, we have all that uranium on the rubbles. We can get it anytime, 60% enriched. And they even bragged that they have enough to make 11 nukes. And they're working on an intercontinental rockets to bring those weapons all the way here to our homeland. At that moment,
been saying that for 47 years.
Well, now we take their word because we did hit that nuclear facility, and that's what we went on. So for them to say that they can retrieve it, okay, that's still a threat, but it's not imminent. It's not imminent, right? Death to America. Pissant. Whatever. You can say whatever you want. Not imminent.
I heard them clarify that they were talking about death to the oligarchy, death to the Trumps, death to the
Yeah, well, that's my American people anyway. Trump is my president. So if they threaten my president, they threaten me. So here's the thing, okay? They can threaten us all they want, and we won't take them at their word. But what happens? Iranians go out and protest. This changes everything. President Trump says, you killed one person, and we're going to bomb the shit out of you. Well, that's my words, by the way. What do they do? Yeah. They kill 30,000 plus Iranian people. Guess what? When they tell me that we're going to kill anybody that goes out there to protest, and they do it, the next time that I hear death to America, you bet your sweet ass that I'm going to take it seriously, and I will bomb the shit out of you. So that's my rationality for it.
That in our country?
Well, let them try. Let's see what happens.
We do that to our own citizens, like we did in Minnesota.
But see, you're bringing something different. I addressed this earlier because
as far as I'm concerned, we have the First Amendment,
Second Amendment,
Fourth Amendment. We have all these rights.
And so, how are you supposed to protest?
How are you supposed to protest?
Yeah,
peacefully.
Exactly. Are you supposed to go out there in the middle of the street and obstruct and impede, like Good did with her car? Blocking agents, chasing them, following them, trying to run them over.
How about the fact that they didn't even wait for an investigation to get done before they called her a domestic terrorist?
That's a mistake. I think it's a mistake, and that's what I don't like about people forcing information out.
Too, I heard you talking about the gun situation there, right? And they claimed gun.
Yeah.
You watched that video, right? You saw that they had totally disarmed him before that gun went off.
Yeah,
right?
The guy reached out from the back. I would have thought that, if I didn't see the gun was gone, with all that noise, commands are drowned. That's my point.
So does that mean that they have a right to call him a domestic terrorist and shoot him 12 times?
Well, I mean, like I said, once somebody calls out gun and you have all these dumbass protesters making all this noise with whistles and all this other stuff.
You call it dumbass protesters.
Yeah, they are dumb. You know why? Because they're obstructing.
You're all for going to war against Iran if they're killing their protesters.
Okay, but you mentioned
saying that they are protesting wrong.
You just mentioned a right. The right to protest. So I ask you, how do you protest? You said peacefully.
Yes.
You don't go over there to antagonize ICE agents, to obstruct them.
What do you think protesting is?
Peacefully, on the sidewalk. Hold your signs.
Okay, so with the sign, with your picket signs and stuff, and you say, okay, please stop?
Yeah, that's protesting.
Okay, yeah.
If you want to be on the street, hold on. If you want to be on the street... Okay, hold on. If you want to be on the street, there is a process for that. You have to be law-abiding. And the process is that you will request a permission from the city. Once you get the permit, if you're gonna go on the street, you need a permit. You need to have permission to be able to go on the street. If you're gonna stay on the sidewalk, you're fine. Protest. They did that over here, not here, but they did that in North Everett. They were protesting the whole No Kings bullshit. So they were protesting.
Do you think that would have escalated to the point that it did with Alex Preddy if Rene Good didn't get shot in the face 3 times?
Well, yeah, I don't think that was necessary. I said it's justified. Was it right? Probably not. But it was justified.
No, definitely not. It definitely wasn't, man. Can we just be honest about it? Because, I'm sick of this whole,
But the guy got hit by her car. She stepped on that gas. Well, dude, she didn't even let her girlfriend get inside the car.
He shot her twice
after he got hit. Yeah, after he got hit.
Oh, yeah, he got hit so bad that he was able to walk away.
I saw him limping and then walked it off. It is what happens on adrenaline.
Come on, Dennis.
It's adrenaline, man. Have you never had adrenaline? Yeah, you feel the pain afterwards.
Shoot somebody 3 times in their face because I got a freaking power trip.
Don't make excuses, bro. The lady was blocking them, following them. Okay, tell me, what has happened to ICE agents from peaceful protesters? Give me some examples.
Not fucking getting shot in 3 times.
Okay, forget about the shooting. Do you have to shoot somebody to have a deadly weapon?
What does the deadly weapon have to do with anything?
Well, I want you to tell me, what deadly weapons have been used against ICE, and has anybody caused violence against ICE on this so-called peaceful protest?
I don't think it's unprovoked.
Is that right? What's provoking? Sure. We're getting rid of illegal immigrants. What are you protesting?
Well,
you're breaking the law already.
Illegal immigrants. You were a legal immigrant. Let me ask you.
I've never been illegal. I have never been illegal.
Take you to become citizen.
Phew, I was a resident for 2.5 decades. Before I became legal, I've been in this country for almost 4 decades.
So you think that that's how long it should take for somebody to come to our country?
I mean, I had a choice, to be honest, but if
you had a choice,
if it's
so
worth it, you
when,
do
like,
it.
They're not really getting rid of the bad of the bad like they said they were going to do, and they're just taking out people that came across the border.
Well, they said they were going to get rid of every illegal immigrant, but they will start with the bad of the bad. And the biggest problem, hold on, and the biggest problem was, and it only happens in Democratic states. You know why? Why do you think it only happens on Democratic states?
Because Trump's targeting blue
states. No, why?
Because he doesn't like blue states.
Yes, me neither. But why do you think?
Because of the sanctuary city.
Exactly. There you go. That's it. And if they don't have that,
I'm well informed on all this. My whole
point
is this.
So why don't you understand?
Just listen to me for just 1 second on this, okay? I don't see how anybody can look at Donald Trump and believe for 1 second that man cares about the American people more than he cares about himself. There's nothing that man has done in his entire life that has shown him to be some great moral character. He is a person that cares only about himself. He cheats on his wives with porn stars, and while they're pregnant, the man freaking is accused of some pretty heinous shit in the Epstein files. If that stuff comes true, I hope you stick to your word and you stop supporting the man. But I really don't believe you will, because a lot of the people in his base are all energized by this whole targeted media towards, you're part of our community now. We're going to attack this person today. So this is all the bad stuff we got to say about so-and-so. And he's a Democrat from a blue city. He's a mayor from this place. And then we're going to all gang up and we're going to feel like we're so together as one. And we got all the information and these people on the left are just dumb. We got to own the libs. All that shit is bullshit, man. None of these people care about us. The Democrats, the Republicans, everybody needs to be cleaned out of the House and the Senate. And all the term limits need to be put in place. All this age limit needs to be put in place 100%. There's no way that we should be having an 80-year-old man as our president anymore. There's all these things that we are literally just supporting this man for no reason. He has not done anything except hurt the middle class and the working class. And people have somehow fallen for this guise of he's the working class president. That man was raised with a golden spoon in his mouth. There's nothing about him that is a working class human being. He's never picked up a shovel probably in his life, man. He's never poured concrete. He's never done serious jobs. I started working when I was 15 years old. I've been paying taxes since I was 15.
I started at 10.
I'm almost 40 now. I've been doing this for my entire life. I love America. America is my home. I am proud to be an American. I'm not proud of that person as our president.
I get it.
I don't think that should make me un-American, or people should be trying to put us underneath the guise of being an un-American or unpatriotic. That man has stolen the word patriot and made it about Donald Trump. That's all he's done. That's the only thing he's done good for this country is spotlight the corruption that is in all branches of government. And people that seriously right now, the only war that's happening right now, Dennis, is the war for his base. Because nobody wants to part from him, because if they do, they're not going to get his votes. That's all this matters. That's the only thing he's got people eating out of his hand, like Lindsey Graham and the rest of the Republicans, and then the Democrats that are all super, super far left to try and pose all their like progressive ideology and policies on people. It's so far of a course correction each time we have a president that I'm sick of it, man. It is just like, I'm so frustrated to not see people with common sense. I want to start the common sense party, and I want people to start realizing that it's not a matter of supporting a guy just because he's your president or because you voted for him. I voted for Donald Trump the first time because I didn't like Hillary. I don't like Biden. I didn't vote for Biden.
You voted. You made a decision with your emotions. That's not how you decide. No, you don't vote for somebody because you don't like the other person. No, you just don't do it that way. I made
a decision based off common sense. At the time, Hillary was an establishment person. I did not want to go with that establishment because the establishment and the status quo has not been working for the American people. I see that Democrat and Republican. All I'm saying is right now, we got people that are stuck on one side or the other of the fence. We're fighting amongst ourselves, divided. We're not a United States of America right now. It is 50-50 down the middle right now, Dennis.
Okay. Do you want to go back to the Biden's administration?
Did I just not say that I didn't?
No. But what you're doing is the whole. See, this is what I'm pointing out. You're making emotional. Listen, you're making emotional decisions. You're all over with emotions with that. Now, I appreciate you being calm, but you have told me all this negativity about Trump. Not one accomplishment, not one thing. not one attack against him, which has been day one, 12 minutes into being declared president. The Democratic Party and everybody out. No, it's okay. 12 years, bro. 12 years. You call that thin skin?
If Biden fell asleep in the freaking meetings the way Trump did, that wouldn't be a week-long freaking news cycle on Fox and Newsmax.
He doesn't fall asleep on the meetings.
He doesn't fall asleep on the meetings.
He rests his eyes. You know how I know he rests his eyes?
He rests his eyes. That's what I say to my girlfriend when I'm passing out.
Boy, you're a fucking liar. That's why. But I'm telling you is this. When he is in there, boy, you are lying. You just said that. You just said you lied to your girlfriend. No, what? You just said you lied to your girlfriend when you're asleep.
Yeah, because
okay, the reason why I said it's not an opinion, man. You got to be observant, okay? I do this all the time. I know. Listen, when you are, bro, stop. Let me finish. Let me talk.
Okay,
when you are in a meeting and you have your eyes closed, you can say whatever the hell you want with me. I can tell you every single press reporter, anybody that works for Trump, they have to sneak their naps. They cannot keep up with the old man that you're talking about. Now, here is it. Hold on, man. I'm not done. And then the other thing is, he is in a meeting with his eyes closed. You say the man fell asleep. Bullshit. You know how I know? Because when the subject comes up, he's answering the question as he should be. He's asking questions where he needs to ask them. He might not be with his eyes open, but don't play the fool. You already went too far left.
Coming up with an excuse for the man. I'm pretty sure.
Because I do the same thing. I do the same thing. I sit here with my eyes closed, and my wife is having a conversation. Wait, no. Can't do that. I talked to that person. I can have the same information. I can tell you that I've done that before. But you said you voted for Trump.
You're also not 80 years old.
Man, he's in better shape than I am. Probably in better shape than you are.
Come on. Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking. Are you kidding me? I can't do what he does. Are you crazy?
Have you ever seen the man do any sort of exercise in his life?
He still kicks ass in golf, bro.
He still kicks ass in golf. Okay, I bet you think he doesn't shit his pants either, right?
Yeah, I probably shit in my pants sometimes if I had diarrhea. Who doesn't?
Oh, okay. So it's not anything to do with him like losing control of his bowels.
My friend, your talking points are just belittling somebody. You're belittling your president. That's what you're doing. You're talking nonsense. You're trying to insult him, and I'm not going to let you do that to my president.
And I'm not afraid to stop supporting somebody because I've seen what they've done.
Okay. So tell me, if you stop Trump, what are you going to do? How are you going to fix the country?
I'm going to start supporting people that see this.
Okay, well, if you don't support Trump, tell me, genius, how are you going to fix the country right now?
You start supporting people that see it how it is.
And who? Tell me, who?
People that are coming up right now that are starting to
people?
show their face for being against like what's going on with this left-right bullshit.
Okay, who?
We need an independent, man. We need an independent.
Well, who? You say you're supporting people, but who are they people?
I haven't seen anybody worthy of putting my backing behind, and I'm not going to say that unless I do. Not like you, sir. I'm not going to blindly start supporting a man. Because
I don't blindly support you. Everything that I tell you,
the Apprentice reality TV show host
which I didn't like, but so what? So what?
So that's his whole personality.
But you asked for my opinion. You think I'm defending him. I'm just telling you what I believe and what I feel.
You just said he wasn't falling asleep.
So tell me, how are we going to have a conversation when you tell me what I'm thinking? You know, you're a psychic, so you know what I'm saying, what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking.
Psychic, sir. You're the psychic, sir. You told me that you know that Trump's doing what he's doing in there. He's just resting his eyes. I'm pretty sure nobody's come out and said that, have they?
This guy.
They haven't. You're laughing.
Listen.
You got a response to that, dude. It's the truth.
It's bullshit, bro. I stream these lives. I stream these lives myself, and I see how active he is.
You see him freaking shit himself in front of everybody?
No, he hasn't done that, bro. He hasn't done that.
Oh, he hasn't done that?
No, he hasn't. You're retarded. You just told me what Biden has done. Biden has done that.
Biden has done that. I'm not
okay, well, don't bring that on Trump. Why are you trying to bring it on Trump? You don't raise false testimony. Do me a favor. Don't raise false testimony. Don't raise false testimony. You're doing hearsay. Tell me something positive that Trump has done in his career.
He spotlighted all the corruption in our government by being
bullshit. You don't believe that.
I do believe that.
You don't believe that. You don't believe that.
That's the only thing I believe, dude. That is it.
I think the left forgot that Iran tried to kill him twice, and the Dems want him in jail a lot of times, and he doesn't get paid. The 2 times he's been president.
his photo op attempt that killed somebody because he's willing to freaking sacrifice people for his own political gain?
Sure, that's your opinion.
Yeah, that's my opinion. All right, I'm pretty damn sure a lot of other people have that same opinion.
Okay, when Democrats take over again,
you guys that stick by him.
Listen. Forget about the man. That's you're starting to be a TDS guy. Forget about the man.
No, I'm pretty sure TDS.
Forget about the man. I'm gonna tell you right now. When the Democrats take over again, you will be responsible for that. People like you will be responsible for that. And so you say, well, what? No, you know what? You say you don't support Democrats, but that's exactly what you're doing right now.
Is it?
Yeah, because if Trump comes out of office, the Democrats win the midterms, and if they get the House and all this stuff, what do you think they're going to do? They're already telling you.
Dude, even without me voting, the Democrats are going to win the.
I don't think they're going to win. Besides, just wait until we're finished with this Iran thing. But number one is this.
Wasn't it supposed to be a short thing too? How long did you say it was going to be?
Let's say he said 6 weeks.
No, he didn't.
And it could be longer. 4 to 6 weeks, and it could be longer.
And when did it start?
25 days ago.
Okay, so we're right in the middle.
Close to 4 weeks. Yeah, we still have another half a month. Let's see what happens in the half a month. By the way, with that being said, the next clip is going to be exactly what I just said.
Okay, you got clips, huh?
Oh yeah, that's absolutely. Cool. It's what I do on my show.
Clips.
All right, brother. I gave you 30 minutes. I gave you 30 minutes.
I'm sorry, but I'm just really adamant.
It's okay. We'll agree to disagree. Don't worry about it. All right. You're still American.
I love you, man.
You're still American, and I still love you as well. All right. Have a good night, brother. Appreciate you. Okay. He's got his valid points. He's got his opinion. I disagree. And when people start talking bad about Trump, and I say the opposite, of course, I'm going to defend my president. This is what I do. Is what I believe. But it doesn't mean that I'm right either, but that's just where I'm at right now. But what I can tell you is that it's not an emotional decision, okay? It's not an emotional decision. I know that if Democrats get back into power, we're going to pay the price. And everything that Trump has been fixing right now, like the border, back to open border. Every Democrat has said that their alliance is to illegal immigrants. It's clear. Here in Washington, why do you think I'm going to run in Washington State? They have illegal immigrants in the office. They have illegal immigrants in the city councils. At the DMV, the office right next to the current governor, anybody that went to renew their license, they were being registered to vote. They made them believe that they can vote. They didn't verify they were citizens. As a matter of fact, when you have a regular ID, it doesn't show that you are a citizen. You have to have an enhanced ID to prove. It will say that you have proven your citizenship. Democrats have been putting a pause to that for the last couple of decades here in Washington State. I see it happening. Listen, I know. I trust Trump. It is what it is. That's where I stand. And I'm not here to argue that I'm a Republican. I'm just an American that happens to support Trump. It's just, what can I tell you? You know, the people look at me like, well, what the hell is this YouTuber? What's he going to do for governor? This guy's retarded. You know what? Nothing in the requirement says you're supposed to be a lawyer, a doctor, a rich man. Here you are, looking at a migrant, below middle class, a laborer, a worker, with years of experience on many fields. Started working construction since I was 10 years old. Almost a half a century old. Here you go. What do you got against me? You're going to tell me that you're not going to let a man who is less than middle class run for governor? Why would that be a problem? Why would that be even a question? You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make sense. But here is a little sign of what we're talking about. Sergeant, sir, welcome to the chat. Let's see what's going on here on Fox, and then we'll go to CNN.
Well, the other part of this is, of course, the oil, and oil prices plunged. Stocks surged after President Trump hit that pause button on attacking Iran's power grid. As the regime continues to block the Strait of Hormuz, the Dow had one of its strongest sessions, actually, in weeks yesterday, up more than 600 points. The price of West Texas crude, though, went down to about $88 a barrel, a nice, good sign. A live look right now at the Dow board as the markets continue reacting to this Iranian conflict, as you just heard there. The strikes continue. Energy Secretary Chris Wright with this perspective.
Gas prices hit $5 under President Biden with no conflict, no conflict that disrupted the flow of energy. We had gasoline prices below $3.
I said this before. Just so you know, I said it before they even said it to me. I've been saying that over and over and over on my show. I guess I was right about everything after all.
A gallon, and we'll again have gasoline prices below $3 a gallon. But to fix this long-term, decades-long problem with Iran, we're all going to have to suffer a little pain. But there's all sorts of things we are doing to mitigate that.
In focus now, Jackie DeAngelis, co-host of the Big Money Show on Fox Business. Jackie, great to have you. You know, the oil price.
We're still praying for you, veteran. Speedy recovery, baby. Just keep trusting in God and take it easy, okay? We appreciate you, Sergeant.
Fell a bit, and the markets reacted as well to the president saying, we're going to hold off at least for 5 days on hitting these energy infrastructures inside Iran. Oil traders, they're looking for the Strait of Hormuz to reopen. That's what they're looking for. So what happens, Jackie, if there is no deal in 5 days?
Well, that's the big question. This is week 4 of a war that was promised to be 4 or 5 weeks. And the markets are getting a little antsy. You see that volatility, especially on the equity side and also in oil. But that drop on Sunday night from $99 a barrel for West Texas to $88 shows you just how much speculation is driving this market now. We could be substantially higher if we did not have the supplies that we had here in the United States due to President Trump and his energy policy. So the market's going to give this another week. 5 days is on the table with respect to this pause, but it's going to want to hear that the Strait of Hormuz is open to see oil drop in any significant way. How President Trump achieves that, well, that's up to him and his team. Obviously, they're saying they're talking.
He did.
That may be what they're doing. That may not be what they're doing.
He did. He did do that. That's why I respect him.
Because he was talking about combined control of that strait, and I just don't see how forces work together and work with this particular regime, a terrorist regime, to share control of the strait. That doesn't seem realistic to me.
Well, maybe we work with the NATO allies. You know, the NATO Secretary General said that the allies are coming together to try to secure the Strait of Hormuz. But some experts out there are saying that even if we were to be able to secure the strait, it would take some time for us to untangle the backlog and the mess that we have in the strait right now with all of these oil ships backed up into a traffic jam. Some people are predicting weeks, even months. What do you think?
Absolutely. It will take time, Aisha. You are 100% correct. But just that headline and just that sense of security, because the markets hate uncertainty, just that sense of security would definitely take the speculators out of the market and give you some immediate relief in oil prices. Because as I said, globally, we are well supplied. I just think that, you put that out there and people understand that we achieved our objectives. We're getting where we need to go. The strait is going to be open. The patience and the tolerance is there for that. It won't go to the $60 or $70 level immediately, but we'll start to inch closer towards that.
Just very quickly, Jackie, before I let you go, the Energy Secretary is calling on these energy companies, oil producers, to pump out more oil. Are you getting a sense that they're going to do that, or is this still too much of a volatile, chaotic situation that they're a little scared?
I think they're doing the best they can, but I think they will help contribute to this. As I said, we are pumping out record amounts in this country right now, close to 14 million barrels a day. The issue isn't what we're producing here at home as much as, the strait and how you get oil around globally that the speculators are worried about. So I think, U.S. companies will contribute, but I do think they've been doing their part. And again, under the leadership of President Trump and his policies, it's made it easy for them to drill, baby, drill.
Drill, baby, drill. So the only thing that I was trying to point out to him, and I know it's not easy to be corrected, right? What I was trying to point out with him is that when you're saying Trump is this bad guy that you shouldn't support, so you give credit where credit's due. I appreciate that. But what I was trying to get across to him is that when you have no argument on really why he's so bad, and you start going on the personal attacks, when you start going into the moral side of things, I think that's when you get in trouble because, a lot of people don't want to accept, Christianity as the base foundation of the United States of America. So when people start judging, with the adultery, he cheated on his wives, you don't know what the wives were doing. You don't know how stressful he was, whether he was the jerk or whether it's the wives getting on his nerves or what. It doesn't matter what the excuse is. What happened. I can tell you this, that when my wife cheated on me, you know what? It is what it is. You know what the reason was? She said, I became too nice. I kid you not. I became too nice. And that's why she cheated on me. You can believe that or not, but that's the reason that she gave me. And she wrote me this big letter apologizing that it was her and this and that. And I moved so many times when I was going through my time that I lost that letter. But, when you have something to say, okay, tell me something good that President Trump has done. And, you say, he acknowledged fraud and all this stuff. Okay, but I want to hear what happened in Venezuela. What happened with the drug boats. What's happening right now in Central America. What is happening with Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, except for Nicaragua, of course. But what's happening with the 18 countries in Latin America that are working with him? Those are the things nobody talks about. They don't appreciate that he's doing that. They don't appreciate it when he went to the Saudi prince. Oh, my God, he's supporting a terrorist. Here's where we go. This is the dance that we do back and forth. I know that he's got over $22 trillion in agreements and deals. It's a 10-year thing. Who knows if it's going to happen? But I will tell you this. When the enemies see that our own Americans are fighting against their legitimate president that we voted into office, when the enemies see us fighting and having no loyalty to our president, they will see us as weak. China and Russia, they're just waiting. They're waiting for their moment. North Korea hates us, just so you guys know. North Korea is waiting for the chance to be able to hit us with an attack. And this is what I'm trying to avoid. This is why I support and protect President Trump. Do I think he's perfect? Of course not. If I thought that I was perfect, then I'll be judging them. But the problem is that when you bring in moral grounds into the issue, then we go all the way back to when Jesus says, if you are free of sin, cast the first stone. And that's the problem. You're not perfect, right? And you said that you lied to your girlfriend. When you're falling asleep, you said, oh, you lied to your girlfriend that you just rest in your eyes. Well, that's because you lie. When I say I'm resting my eyes, I'm resting my eyes. And I don't lie. And so the difference between you and me will be in that manner. So because you lie, you think everybody is a liar. Now, because I don't lie, I give people the benefit of the doubt. And I could be wrong, right? Remember this, Kim. Not even Jesus was perfect. Not while he was human. Let me tell you why. And that's not a bad thing, but let me tell you why Jesus was not perfect. Okay? The reason why Jesus was not perfect is because, remember this, when he went when he fasted for 40 days and he went out to the desert, what did Satan do to Jesus Christ? Anybody on the chat? Tell me. Buster, he didn't say that. But I can tell you that when the conversation's going on, he's still in the conversation. And he's not just blabbing some information. No. He was correcting people that was giving the wrong information out. And he was asking legit questions. My members in here and subscribers have been with me for a while. They watch the live streams with me. And yes, I catch him with his eyes closed. But the guy is still awake. He's not jumping. Oh, my God, what the hell was that? No. Anyway, so you can say that or whatever, but I believe what I believe. Okay. So with that being said, okay, but what's it called, Cutting Edge? What was Satan doing to Jesus? And I'm going to show you. This makes him imperfect. He was being tempted. Now, in order for something to be said, temptation, why is it a temptation? Because the flesh is weak. The flesh wants to give in, right? So what did he do? He fought with the Spirit. And he fought with the Word of God. This is why in the prayer, it says to let us have our daily bread. Our daily bread is the Word of God. So every time that Satan tried to tempt Jesus, he came back with the scripture, with the daily bread, and says, not only of bread shall men live alone. That's my translation, okay? And so that's what we're looking at when we're looking at moral bounds, right? So President Trump cheated on his wife. The Bible says that if my wife commits adultery, I am also an adulterer because I'm married to her. So by her sinning, it is also my sin. And so if you are with your girlfriend and you're sleeping with her, you are in sin. And therefore, you cannot judge President Trump for his adulterous life. You see what I'm saying? If you ever watch porn, you're guilty. You can't judge him. You just can't judge him if he slept with other women. And people blame me for my divorce. People blame me for my wife cheating on me. And my biggest sin was what? I wanted to be a good family man, a good husband. How is that? How is that wrong? And yet, the people blame me because she's the woman. I get it. Whatever the reason is, I was blamed for it. So when Jesus was asked, who is good? Jesus said, no one. No one on earth is good. Was he clean and was he sinless? Absolutely. 100%. For even the night before he was betrayed, he was praying to God because the flesh was scared. The flesh was weak. I don't blame him. Shoot, I thought I was going to die on this big dark depression that I just shared my story with you guys. And he says that he was so stressed about all the pain that he was going to endure for you and me that his tears were blood. Imagine the anguish. Oh, man, we're lucky. We're not lucky. We are blessed that God loves us. It is amazing. And so again, when people talk bad about Trump, okay, he's not perfect, man. It's a tough decision to go and attack this regime. It's a tough decision. It was a tough decision to get Nicolas Maduro. Did Biden do it? No. He didn't have the balls. Saddam Hussein, Obama had the balls. He did it. Well, President Trump did what he had to do as well. And we went after the president, just like Barack Obama went against Saddam Hussein. I hope I'm not confusing my presidents here. So there you go. The president has to make the tough decisions. As much as my intentions are so great, I'm still human. I will always fall short of the glory of God, coyotes. Always. But I will try my darnest to be able to fight for the people. And I'm not going to be able to make everybody happy. Somebody's going to try to protest me. I don't want Christians to go and disrupt the LGBTQ meetings. Let them. Pray for them. I'm not going to let Antifa and the LGBTQ go and disrupt Christian, concerts. I'm not going to allow that. You know what the mayor in Seattle, Washington said? And this is when This is when Antifa and the LGBTQ were throwing bottles of piss at the Christians at their concert. There were families, children. They were throwing piss bottles and balloons at them. Unacceptable. And they were saying, oh, this is the LGBTQ park. No, mofo. This park belongs to the people, to everybody. And the mayor of Seattle, the one that lost to a socialist Democrat mayor, he actually made Christians look like tyrants. He didn't defend them. He didn't take a neutral side. He defended LGBTQ and Antifa. Reporters that go out in the street, in the middle of the street in Seattle at night to report, to investigate. They're being attacked by Antifa. Peaceful protesters. I get it. You know what? They're being attacked, and you know who gets in trouble? Nobody. It got so bad over here in Seattle, the police doesn't even attend any crimes. If Antifa or LGBTQ was involved, they don't come. They make you walk to the nearest police station. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. It is unbelievable. I never thought in my life that I was going to see that happen here in Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington is the biggest place that I can tell you. But it's not just Seattle. It happens in 5. It happens in Tacoma. It happens all the way down in Olympia. It happens throughout the whole states. In Everett, in Linwood, in Edmonds, Woodinville, Yakima. It happens everywhere. Yakima is filled with gangbangers. Why hasn't the police have any reinforcements to go bring peace to Yakima? Nobody talks about it. But I live there, I know. No, I don't support a tyrant. You might think he's a dictator, an authoritarian. You know why? Because Congress doesn't want to fight for the American people. So he has to do his duty as president and go over them, which is his right. That is the power of the executive branch. No state constitution can override the United States of America's Constitution. Federal agents have the right, the constitutional right to go anywhere in the United States and enforce immigration laws. And this is the problem. You made excuses about protesters. Everybody on the left make excuses about good and pretty. I got you. You see what you see, I see what I see. But the bottom line is that when I see people supposedly peaceful protesting, throwing rocks at our ICE agents, impeding, obstructing, causing havoc, and then playing the victims? No, homie, I don't think so. I don't think so. If the people didn't go out there and try to obstruct justice, you wouldn't see these people being slammed on the ground. There was this Guatemalan guy that was being arrested peacefully, was handcuffed, was about to get into the back of the police of the ICE agent's car, and of course, one social white liberal Karen started talking about, don't say anything, what are you doing? And all of a sudden, the guy started fighting back. It's no lie. It is the truth. It is an observation. The guy was about to get inside the vehicle, and the white socialist liberal Karen started talking shit to the officer, and the guy started retaliating with them. You got to make an example. Either you get behind the law or you get behind the criminals. And every time you stand against ICE, just like Dalabama Jeffrey said, ICE agents go into the airport to shoot people out. Really? It's unbelievable. You know, I blame Democrats, the corrupted socialist Democrats. That's what they wanted. They wanted blood, and they said that. Tampon Tim says nothing's going to happen until there's bloodshed. That's the Democrats for you. AOC, your vice president hero of the future. Cutting Edge, are you still here? Or Jason, can you tell me what was her line? Americans need to suffer more. Somewhere along those lines, right? Americans need to suffer more. Patrick, it's a fact. Contradict me. Correct me. Am I wrong? Did AOC ever said Americans need to suffer more? As a matter of fact, why don't you let me look it up? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Yeah, I believe it was AOC. Let me see. Let me see if it's this one, okay? Let me see if it's this one.
We have federal workers across the country that have been missing paychecks. We have SNAP recipients, millions of SNAP recipients across the country that, whose access to food stability was imperiled. And we have to figure out what that was for, because you had both the capitulation in the Senate and you have the refusal and the outright cruelty among House Republicans and the White House, who went to court to try to sue for their ability to deny people's access to food. This is the reality that we're in right now, and we need to act like it, and we cannot enable this kind of cruelty with our cowardice.
That's not the clip. But let me tell you what they don't tell you. That's not Americans. Who's this country for? Who is this country for? It's for Americans and those who respect the law. It's not for illegal immigrants, and it's not for the lazy. If you don't work, you don't eat. If your body able, how many times did I see Americans with a big ass truck? They have their house, over $1,000 worth of food stamps, free health care. Why would they go to work? There's no incentive. There's no incentive. I shouldn't even be doing this for money. I should just chill, stay home, play my video game, you know what I'm saying? I will be getting food stamps. I will have my snacks, my fruits. I'll be chilling. Chilling like Bob Dylan. What did she say? Can somebody tell me the exact lines? Because I know that she said that. What is this? Let me see.
Next time, we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more.
There you go. There you go. That's the one.
Now at 6, a plan to drastically shift Washington's tax system is on the table tonight.
To get them to fold. And I don't want them to learn that lesson.
Democrats hate you, folks. They absolutely hate you with a passion, and they've shown it time and time again. Using your pain, not as something to fix, but as a political currency, they can cash in to divide, conquer, and gather as much power as possible at your expense. They don't care about you. They're enthralled by how your struggle can be weaponized to justify giving themselves more control over your life. And that's exactly what we're seeing with AOC here. She's upset that Senate Democrats ended the shutdown because, in her worldview, the real problem isn't government dysfunction. It's that working Americans didn't suffer enough to produce the political pressure she wanted so she could get what she wants out of the deal.
Let her replay again.
And it leans into the wealthy.
The lesson that they're learning is that Democrats are weak, and that next time we just need to hurt working people and working Americans more.
What they're learning, what the American people are learning, is that Democrats are weak for reopening the government. So the next time we have to hurt the Americans more. It's very simple. I just don't understand why.
These people in our state.
Quiet, man. I'm not talking to you right now. Let me go ahead and change gears with you for a second. I've been wanting to go to my Facebook account, and I keep forgetting to do it. So tonight we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it tonight. We're gonna do it. Here, I want to keep the privacy of some of the members. Let's see here. Okay. there's been so many clips that I've been wanting to share with you guys, right? But for some reason, man, I try to keep that as much as I can private. But let me go ahead and you guys already see that on there. It looks like. All right, let's go ahead and I like Glenn. Let's listen to Glenn and let's see what his 2 cents are. There's more, but let's start off with Glenn.
Now, in Seattle, nearly 1/3 of the office space is empty, 35% at the core. More than 1/4 of all of the office space all across the city is vacant. Entire buildings are dark at noon. Elevators that carried thousands of engineers and lawyers and designers and now move janitors and security guards through hollow floors where the lights never come on. This is New Orleans without the hurricane. It's not war damage. This is policy that is doing this. And the response from the city leadership shows something that is far more than incompetence. It is intentional destruction. They just passed a new tax in Seattle. You make over $1 million, which, go ahead, try to live in Washington State, in Seattle in particular, for under what, $150,000 if you have a family? You're at poverty level, okay? So $1 million. There you get an extra 10%. No, sorry, not 10%. That would be madness. 9.9% extra tax. Another 10%. Okay. They don't have any understanding of how an economy works. Seattle's incoming mayor, Katie Wilson, proposed what she calls a solution now to just the hollowing out of Seattle. Okay, here's what I would do. Fix the problems. Get the poop off the streets. Get the people pooping off the streets. Get the drugs off the streets. Clean the city up, and you won't have this problem. But that's not the solution. The solution is, well, the buildings are empty.
I don't make it up. There you have it. You can say that I'm clipping no. We listen to whole live comments. It's not a thing of clipping. This is what they tell you to your face. I don't know why you guys are pretending that they don't. They tell it to your face. Schumer was over there with Alabama, and he was over there on the other shutdown that we just got out of. And he says the American people are going to suffer greatly if the government gets shut down. Families, they're going to starve. And they still shut it down. And they voted more than 13 times against reopening the government. And you guys on the left continue to throw insults at us like we are the ones causing the problem. Let's remember that it was Republicans that stood up when we said Americans first before illegal immigrants, and all the Democrats stay seated. Why? Because they hate the man. They are willing to sacrifice American lives for the hate of one man. That's what I always said. Get the name Trump out of the equation. How are we doing? We're doing great. I just gave you a little piece of proof. Barrel of oil went from $100 back down to 88 on just one word from President Trump. It's working. It's a work in progress. It takes time. Nobody wanted to respond. Nobody wanted to respond when we first started, but now everybody's interested. And what do they say? Oh, wait a minute. We're going to come in and help you or get involved, but we want to make sure the war is over on Iran. What kind of coward would say that? Mayra, you are one ugly son of a bitch. You know how I know? By your comments. By your comments.
So let's tax the empty buildings. A vacancy tax on commercial property. On commercial property that the owners can't fill. They can't fill because of all these other problems. And so the city, I mean, think of this. You're already losing money because nobody wants to rent your building. And the city is going to fine you for it. Like you want the empty building. You're getting fined because I want the empty building. I don't want the empty building. I'm trying to pay for the building. I'd love to have people come in. But I've got a huge mortgage on this thing. I have conditions from the bank. I can't just give it away. You're going to get taxed. Okay. So you got property taxes, insurance, all of this stuff. Vacancy is the last thing any owner wants. Empty space means bleeding money out every single month.
And there's a guy I haven't left him out of jail yet because one of my mods put him in jail here. I asked him a question. I said, "Okay, first of all, here we go, giving you a chance. How will you fix the economy in Washington State?" You know what the answer was? We'll raise taxes. You lost me right there. Nope. That's not how you do it.
But the political theory running in Seattle assumes something else entirely. It assumes the owners are choosing vacancy. Why? Just think of this for 10 seconds like you're a thinking human being.
Which is very hard for libtards to do, but just so you know, that is communism. Pay attention to what he's saying. That is communism. When socialism doesn't work, the next level is communism, and here it is.
Who would do that? What would be the motivation? Yeah. They're just refusing tenants out of greed. Waiting for some imaginary payday to show up. So the government steps in of Seattle. The government of Seattle steps in with a punishment. Pay the tax or lower the rent or be fined. That's the economic incentive.
Clem begs the man.
Lower the rent or pay the fine. I mean, it would be...
He speaks 100% better than me, has the same common sense, but the guy is very smart and very wise. Will he always be perfect? He will never be perfect. Nobody ever will. But he has a lot of common sense. And I'm glad that he's talking about Seattle. That's why I clipped this on my Facebook page. Common sense is not easy to come by nowadays. It's almost like looking for a virgin before you get married. It's very, very hard to find that virgin woman nowadays. To find that virgin man nowadays. It's especially man. And that's what it is. But communism, if you don't know what I'm talking about, socialism, sharing the wealth amongst depending on the need of the people. But when you start putting measurements like groceries, government owned grocery stores. There you go. In Spanish, it's backwards. But government owned grocery stores. You start telling people you can only sell the milk at $3 a gallon. But then you're raising taxes, payroll taxes, business taxes, property taxes. All of a sudden, that business needs to sell that gallon of milk at $5. Now, why do they do that? Well, number one, if you force them to sell it at $3 a gallon instead of the realistic inflation price of $5 a gallon, you look bad as a governor, as a president, or whatever it is that it is in your country. Here in Washington State, we have governors which are individually commander-in-chiefs of their own National Guard military, and they are the executive chief in their state. The responsibility is of the governor, not the president. And that's how I put my thoughts together. How are you going to fix the economy, affordability here in Washington state? The Democrat answer is raise taxes. Well, they're doing that. Businesses are leaving. Millionaires and billionaires are leaving. Nobody wants to do business here in Washington state because they keep screwing over the people that will bring hundreds of thousands of jobs. We just lost 100,000 jobs between last year and the beginning of this year. Only on taxes alone. And the Democrats think the solution is more taxes. You know what the solution is for us? For me, as I run for governor? More jobs, tax cuts, deregulating. Let's bring some prices down. The cost of doing business is got to come down. You cannot get away with just raising taxes on everything. The dollar doesn't mean jack squat because you're taxing the crap out of it. Did you know that sales taxes, it's supposed to provide money for roads, for the fire department, for the police, for education? That's what sales taxes are supposed to be collected for. But now you have a business tax, a BO tax, a payroll tax, a luxury tax, inheritance tax, a death tax. You got all of these excise taxes added to it so that it's constitutional to impose on the people. They're adding a big-ass fee for renewing your tabs. Your tabs for your car cost about $130 for a brand new car. They charge an extra $650 for transit. Sales taxes supports the transit. But Democrats believe that in order to have a better economy, that they're supposed to raise taxes. They're irresponsible. They are not holding themselves accountable for what they're doing. It's wrong to blame the president for jobs lost when it's our responsibility. If I am governor and I am losing thousands and hundreds of thousands of jobs, that's my fault. Not Trump's fault, not whoever the president is. To a certain extent, if I am doing everything that I can to reduce the prices in my state and doing all this deregulating, tax cuts, etc. See, I ignored the white noise from the lazy people that want to blame rich people for not paying their fair share. The lazy people that want to stay on welfare. All you got to do is get a part-time job. That's something that AOC didn't mention in that little clip. All you got to do is work part-time, 20 hours a week. You lazy mofo. If your body able to work, you should be working. All you got to do is earn some of your keep. And then that way you can have free health care, free food, maybe $1,000 for free housing. I get it. But you got to do something. Steve, I know more than you will ever know about the economy. So shut the hell up. See, by the time you go, Steven, I'm already coming back. That's how I go. That's how I roll. By the time you gather your thoughts to say, okay, now I'm going to go, I'm already back. You took too long. You like too late Jerome Powell. Jerome too late Powell. That's you. Stephen too late Trujillo. That's you. You're too late. Low energy. Okay, Steve, I'll give you a chance. Let me finish this. I'll give you a chance to call me in, and I want you to tell me how you will fix the economy in my state. Go do some research. Go find out what's going on in Washington. When we finish here, I will allow you to call me, and then you tell me your plan on how you can fix the economy in Washington state. Got it? All right. I'll give you a chance.
Really almost funny if it wasn't happening in one of the greatest cities in the West Coast. The real problem in Seattle, it's not a mystery. I don't need the Scooby-Doo van to pull up. Why did all the businesses leave? I don't know, Shaggy. Why? They left for reasons that everyone in the country understands. Seattle is not known for technology. It's known now for open-air drug markets, sidewalk encampments, retail theft treated as a nuisance instead of a crime. A regulatory climate where starting, running, or expanding a business requires navigating a maze of taxes and mandates. You feel like a criminal if you're going to run a business.
Yep.
You know the city is against you and the state is against you. Major employer in Washington State called the governor to explain how difficult it is. And he's like, dude, I'm a friendly, but it's so hostile here. Costs are so unpredictable. Everything you guys are doing, you're running us out. I have to leave because I have to take my country out because I can't do this anymore. Hey, he's told, good, get out and make room for others. Who says stuff like that? What company studies Seattle's vacancy rates, the tax policies?
That's true. And you can go to the government website here in Washington State and go spend days listening to these hearings and all these bills that they pass. I dare you to go spend days and weeks listening because they're long, 3-5 hours, very long. A lot of documents to go through, a lot of clips that you have to go through. It is insane, insane. I don't know. I never had two people on the. I never had three-way calling on the cell phone. To be honest, but you can always call Adam, and then you can just kind of give us an overview if you want. Maybe I have a question for you or something. I respect your comments. So yeah, there you go. Knight says big government is inefficient. Businesses have to break even or fail. That's true. That's true. That's true. Texas, well, sales tax over here in Washington State goes up as 10.5%. And they just raised 10%, well, 9.9% income state tax. And they just added up to a 9% property tax. And then they added more payroll tax on top of it, and then they added the luxury tax on top of it. So if you have yachts, boats, etc., now you no longer own them. Now you can actually just pay, and you'll never own anything here in Washington State. You will have to pay for the rest of your life. I do have Discord. I never use it. I try to open it once just so that I can call a friend of mine that was doing a live. And I was able to call through, but I don't want to sit here and listen to two people arguing on my earphone at the same time. That's not the kind of panel that I want. And maybe after we get done with this whole campaign thing, if it doesn't work out, fantastic. That's okay. We'll go with somewhere else. But once I get situated as and say this is going to be my permanent studio or this sort of setting, I will get more familiar with that kind of stuff. For now, I am just allowing people to interact with me while I'm live. I could simply make some videos and then just play them and, whatever. But I feel like sometimes I want to be able to give people a voice. And unfortunately, these libtards, they come in here, they just come in and insult, the last guy, whether I agree or to disagree, that's fine. I know when I'm not going to be able to have a full conversation. It's going to be one-sided. I don't like this whole let's debate and see who can trash the other one, because when you have that sort of mentality, you're just not going to argue. You're not going to want to listen to the other person. Very rare do you find somebody that can say, yeah, I see it differently, but yeah, we'll agree to disagree. No, instead, somebody wants to make fun of the other person, and then before you know it, you start making me curse. And once I start cursing, it's not good. It's not good. Yes, I know. It makes it look like I lost the argument, but it is what it is.
The crime, the out-of-control crazy in the city. Who says, you know what, I think we're going to move our company to Seattle?
Yeah, he just mentioned crime. How is that President Trump's fault? How is that President Trump's fault? And so Democrats like to blame President Trump, but whenever he offers to bring the National Guard to help with crime, oh, no, we're fine. We're just going to readjust the numbers and the reporting of the crime.
Capital does not behave that way. Entrepreneurs do not behave that way. Investors don't behave that way. And when policymakers who are just dumb as a box of rocks assume they do, entire economies fall. It's not a mystery, Seattle. It's the result of you being communists. You treat wealth creation as something that has to be managed, controlled, or punished. And that's why you're being hollowed out.
And that's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. And I believe that. You're punishing people for coming up with good ideas, for having the courage to invest, for sacrificing their time, and you punish them. You don't reward them. You make them look like the evil people that you want them to look like. Because you're lazy. Because you're ungrateful of the freedom that you have. This is the greatest country in the world. Why do you think millions of illegals want to come to this country? And you letting them just take it over. And your excuse is the farmers. They need workers. How many millions of farmers do you see in one farm? Not millions. Tens of people, not millions. Thank you, Mr. Glenn. Classic hitch slap.
As a Sufi Muslim, I'm very ruffled by the title of your book. Did you have to settle for the literal negation of Allahu Akbar?
Yes. I thought so. Thank you for that. Thank you. At the moment, it's very clear to me the most toxic form that religion takes is the Islamic form. The horrible idea of wanting to end up with Sharia, the state of religious law, and that the best means of getting there is jihad, holy war, and that Muslims have a special right to feel aggrieved enough to demand this. I think it's an absolute obscene wickedness, and I think their religion is nonsense. God speaks to some illiterate merchant warlord in Arabia, and it contains the answers to all human. Don't waste my time. It's bullshit.
But you're saying the same about it.
Also, that God speaks, the Archangel Gabriel speaks only Arabic. All religions claim to be revealed truth. But Islam rather dangerously says, ours is the last and final one. There can't be any more after this. This is God's last word. Now, that's straight away a temptation to violence and intolerance. And if you note, it's a temptation they seem quite willing to fall for. Every Allahu Akbar reminds people that we're in a very serious struggle with a very depraved religion.
Facts. People argue with me on that. It is what it is, but it's a fact. Here's another one. I don't believe in the victim card.
They did an experiment where they told a group of women that they're going to put scarring on their faces or visual disfigurements of some kind. And then they would go into an interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to work out whether the interviewer is going to treat them differently because of their facial disfigurement. What they didn't tell the women is as they were leaving to go for the interview, they touched up their makeup without showing them the facial disfigurement, removed the scarring. So they went into the interview thinking they're facially scarred, but they weren't. And they came back reporting massive levels of discrimination, specific comments that the interviewer had made about them that they perceived. You see what you expect to see. This is why teaching people victimhood is so dangerous, because it makes them victims. They did.
Did you get that? What have I been telling you? From the get-go. From the get-go. That I started doing this live. I started doing my lives. I started making videos earlier in the year last year. And then I started doing my lives once I got 50 subscribers. I started doing my lives. Turns out the official date for me to do lives and this show at the end of August, the second half of August of last year. Yeah, we're at 18,000 subscribers. That doesn't do anything for me. I appreciate it, of course, and I wish that all 18,000 people would actually be here listening to the truth every day. But that's not how it works. In the perfect world, people got to work. You can't sit here with me for 5-6 hours. I mean, General Jason over here, that's different. He's a general. Tanya, Sister Tanya. You know, she loves me and my wife and my family, so she supports me. Robert, big bro. Brian, man, you know, Dosito, which is not here. David, Barb, you know, they're always giving me words of encouragement. Adam has become an old friend of mine that pops in here once in a while, but I consider him a friend. I've had personal conversations with him, about Honduras and all these other things. I talked to him on the phone before, so it means a lot to me, and I appreciate that. So Jason is giving me his vacation time right now. So we're going to lose him eventually. But I appreciate it. The point is that I appreciate the time, okay? And, this one might be too much common sense is what I put on the video.
So here's what Cairo 7 tried to do to make this more local.
Cairo 7 is a local news station here in Washington State.
Gas prices in Washington are on the rise, alongside with the rest of the nation, as tensions are escalating in the Middle East after the U.S. and Israel carried out airstrikes on Iran over the weekend. I actually was joking with people when I heard about this. On Saturday night, I said, go get gas now. You should go do it. Are gas prices on the rise here because of Iran, or are gas prices on the rise here because of bad Democrat policies? First of all, let's just remind everybody, gas prices nationally are at record lows thanks to President Trump and his focus on unleashing American energy. Can we be real about this for a second? Let's start right there. Second of all, we know that gas prices are on the rise here in Washington thanks to the Climate Commitment Act. Oh, they'll lie to you and they'll say, it's a special blend of fuel. It's a summer blend. And the summer blend is more expensive. Really? Idaho doesn't use the summer blend? Why aren't their gas prices over $5 a gallon? Why is that, do you figure? So, the thing that's creating more problems now is the shutdown of these refineries in California. 2 oil refineries are closing in California, not because they weren't making money, but because California's onerous restrictions have made it so hard to operate in California, they need to shut down. So now we need to compete with Oregon, and we need to compete with California to get our gas up here. On top of that, you've got the insane Climate Commitment Act, where now all the money is not actually going to doing anything to fix the climate. Instead, what's it going to? Democrat pet projects on climate change. So as much as they want to say what's happening here is because of the Middle East, very, very little of what's going on here has anything whatsoever to do with the Middle East.
Yeah, and we acknowledge that some of it has to do with what's going on in the Middle East. But as I've been saying it over and over and over, who is responsible for their state? The whole responsibility does not fall on the president. It falls on the governor and the mayors and the citizens and how they behave and what rules are there. Businesses have closed here in Washington because of crime. That's just one reason. That's not the main reason. We know the areas that are dirty. You don't want to go there. And what I mean by dirty, I don't mean just garbage. I'm talking about people that are crazy. Drug addicts, criminal, gangbangers, drug dealers. They don't hesitate to kill you for $5. It is crazy. All right, that's common sense. Listen to this libtard. Now, guys, if you don't know what a libtard is, here we go.
What do you say to those folks who say, well, if you tax millionaires, they're going to leave the city, and the top 1% pays 40% of the taxes in the city, so what happens if they leave? What's your response?
Well, that's what I would say. It's like we should take their business, and we run it like for the city ourselves.
So if they take their business to Florida, you feel like you can keep it?
I mean, they can't leave the building. They can't just bring their whole entire workforce to Florida. Right? They can't bring all of the resources that they have to build the business here to Florida, right? That's a whole thing. And that's where you would even say we're building a real movement, right? To stop that. We'd also make it illegal for them to actually leave, right? We would fine them to hell if they're gonna try to abandon their property here, right?
Communist much?
Because clearly people do need to work, right? People do need to make a living. So.
And not just because she's Lara Trump. Facts are facts. Common sense is common sense.
You know what? This is what revisionist history gets people. Yes, sir, that is exactly what not only are they going to do, they're already doing. If you think for a second that anyone who can leave New York hasn't left or isn't planning to leave, you're absolutely insane. And that goes for businesses as well. Yes, they can uproot themselves. They can leave the space that they're likely renting within a floor or 2 floors or whatever it is in one of these buildings in New York City, and they move it right out. And guess where they're going? They're coming right here to the free state of Florida. They're going to places like Texas. They're going anywhere that allows their business to flourish. Because whenever you have the top 1% of earners paying a vast majority of taxes, and you want to tax them more on top of that, they're saying it's enough. I'm not going to do this. My company is much better off. The financials for my company are better off in places like Florida and Texas. And by the way, whenever you ask the employees of these companies, ask the Trump organization about this, would you guys like to move to Florida, or would you rather stay here in the high tax, crazy state, socialist New York City? They're every single time. They're like, we want to get out of here. Wait, you mean low taxes? You mean great weather? You mean freedom, flourishing business, great quality of life for my family, better schools, etc.? Yeah, sign me up. So yes, sir, they're going to do that. They already have started doing that. And now you want to make it illegal for them to do that?
What do you say to those folks that say, well, if you tax...
Nothing to do with her being Lara Trump. They don't even hide their stupidity.
Please correct me if this is incorrect. You want non-citizens to be counted in terms of determining the representation for elected officials here at the Capitol, and by extension, I assume the U.S. Capitol as well. Is that incorrect?
Mr. Chair, I mean, it is absolutely correct.
Let the record reflect then that you just said it was correct, that you want non-citizens to be counted for representation.
That is, Mr. Chair, that is in fact the current interpretation of that clause in the Constitution that talks about counting the people in the United States. That is the job of the U.S. Census.
I do appreciate an honest Democrat, because you're saying the quiet part out loud.
And Mr.
To
Chair,
that point?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So yeah, Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution gives U.S. Congress the responsibility to conduct the census. The scope is defined as census counts every resident in the United States. Do you believe that undocumented people are residents?
I believe that undocumented people right now are being deported in mass numbers because they aren't legally supposed to be here. And
that means no, they are not residents. They're illegals.
So no, I do not believe that our founders intended for non-citizens, who we've had 10 to 20 million over the last 4 years enter illegally into this nation at the hands of the Biden regime, the Democrats.
Here we go. So
I do not believe that they should be counted in terms of determining representation here at the Arizona legislature, or in any state legislature for that matter, or for the U.S. Congress. I don't believe that's accurate.
And you hear it from the Democrats. They tell you themselves. They are telling you. I don't know why they say I'm lying. They tell you. That's your party. That's your party. Your party is telling you that, not me. Your party is telling you that. General says, bye, Sean. Unbelievable. Watch out. 1,000% I support this. Without the music, so I don't get in trouble. Trump proposes term limits, 6 years for House, 12 for Senate. That will remove 73% of Congress. Do you support it? 1,000%. Absolutely. Man, he's the man. He is the man. I'm glad I voted for him. Steal money from the people. Stealing, oh man, I mistyped that. I got to fix that title. Stealing money from the people, it's not real revenue.
I wonder if that's MAGA Republicans' fault too. We're starting to see right now the record revenues for the state of California. And I was looking at the governor's proposed budget. It seems like we're increasing on the personal income tax. Is that an accurate statement?
In terms of
Revenue.
the revenues,
Yes.
yeah, the large part of the increased revenues is from personal income taxes.
And then we're also, from the governor's budget, we're seeing an increase in corporate taxes, and it says because of improved economic forecasts. Is that a correct statement as well?
It is. I would just like to add, this is all relative to the Budget Act. So based on what we thought at the time in regard to the economy and revenues, this is a change from what was at that point expected.
So it's an increase in revenue on the personal income tax and an increase in revenue on the corporate taxes, correct?
That's correct.
Because of a positive economic forecast.
Yes, and again, change from what we thought at the mayor vision.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I wonder if that's MAGA Republicans' fault, too. So when we're looking at this, we've got to see that this is the fourth structural deficit in a row, correct?
This is the fourth year in which we have a deficit.
California, yeah.
And we're projecting 3 more years out, each one of those years being in a structural deficit.
That's correct. Beyond the budget year, yes.
$20 billion and in excess by the governor's office and by the LAO's $35 billion in deficits year over year. So what it sounds like to me is that this isn't a federal administration office. We know today, 1 year ago, the federal administration took office. But this is the fourth year in a row. So that means under the previous office before, we also had a structural deficit. So it seems like the common denominator in this is the legislative body and the governor's office. And this is up to us to handle the issues of our budget. This is not a revenue issue. As we just heard, we have had record revenues. This is a spending issue, and it's our job to make sure that we can rein that in. I look forward.
And it just happens to be the same here in Washington State. And what do we have in common? Democrats. I'm sorry, man. We just the real Democratic Party does not exist. Okay, they're gone. All we got left is Marxist, socialist, communist. That's all we have left. The real Democratic Party of real Americans is gone. We need it back. If you agree with Trump, 6-year terms, we'll get rid of 73% of all these useless people in government, and let's go ahead and get new people in and see what we get. All right? This is the genius the Democrats think should be vice president. You can't make this up.
New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or Sandy, as she's also known, reportedly spent close to $19,000 in campaign money on a psychiatrist who specializes in ketamine therapy. The expenses were marked as, quote, leadership training and consulting. It's unclear whether the session consisted of
leadership training and consulting. That's how Democrats get leadership skills, by going to a psychiatrist. You can't make this up, folks.
what it consisted of or who participated in it. AOC has proposed legislation in the past to make it easier to study magic mushrooms and other psychedelic drugs.
Genius.
Her campaign also heavily pushed to end the federal prohibition of marijuana in 2018.
You can't make it up, guys. You just can't make it. But I'm a liar. Yeah. You guys are all witnesses. I am a liar. I'm always lying. Check this out. I like this idea. What do you guys think?
Why shouldn't we make healthcare tax-free in this country? Why shouldn't we just exempt all healthcare from taxes? We did no taxes on tips, no taxes on overtime earlier this year. How about no taxes on healthcare? If you pay premiums, you ought to be able to deduct that from your taxes. If you have out-of-pocket medical expenses, you ought to be able to deduct every dollar off of your taxes. You want to lower the cost of healthcare immediately? Do that. No taxes on healthcare for any American. And you set an upper limit so you don't have rich people gaming the system. I get it, that's fine. But let's think about working people in this country who cannot afford health care. What if we said to them today, we're not going to tax your health care costs? Why shouldn't we?
Okay, so he says no taxes on the premiums. Okay, wait a minute. This ain't for you middle class and up. This is for the poor folks. Anybody making under $150,000, okay? So he says no taxes on your premiums, right? Your monthly payments. No taxes on the actual healthcare the money that you spend on healthcare. I got a better idea. If it's going to be for people that's going to be under 150,000, then I think the best idea is that if you are making less than $150,000, not that I'm trying to incentivize not to make more money, because I will reward you if you make more money, right? That's how you get people to work harder, invest more, etc. So anybody that's making under $150,000, if it's a couple, they should qualify for free healthcare and food stamps. If it's a single person and they're making under $100,000, they should qualify for free healthcare and free food stamps. Anybody that's making under that amount, you have to understand that. Or under 100 or under qualifies. Couples, 149,999.99. Those people will qualify. It's a couple. I think it's fantastic. And that way you don't have to do universal free healthcare for everybody. Now, the problem with that, of course, is always going to be controlling insurance companies, controlling the healthcare industries, right? Big pharma, so to speak. Because then the rich people will have to pay more. That's just the way it works. But I think that there's something to it. You know, there's some things that I'm willing to bend and you know, sacrifice to make it better for everybody. But there should be some sort of benefit as well for them to actually get rewarded for that higher price or premium. They should be able to get that tax break. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I see it. All right, then I got a couple of videos, but you know what? I don't know how many hours I've done today, to be honest. I don't know if it's how long it's been. Let me see. I don't know how long it's been. 3 hours right now, 2 hours in the afternoon, 5 hours. Man, that's like 10 hours, almost 11 hours in my day streaming, just for the love of doing the stream. Yes, I do get beat up every day. People insult me left and right, call me a sellout traitor. It doesn't matter which side I try to help. Doesn't matter if I'm balanced. It doesn't matter if I want everybody to do good, and it doesn't matter if I support both sides. It doesn't matter what I do. You are never able to please the whole world. Robert, I'm tired of supporting lazy ass people who don't want to work. If you don't think that this is work, that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your own facts. And the facts is, this is what I do for a living. So for all of you members, thank you so much for your support. I wouldn't be able to do this without your love and support. So thank you, subscribers. Thank you especially those members and those who have given me love and acceptance. I will never be white. I get it. For those of you who are racist out there on the left, I will never be white, even though my ass says otherwise. Man, you know what? I had a lot of fun today. It's been great. Thank you so much, guys. Robert, you know how you guys do. General Jason, thank you for spending some of your vacation time here with me. Appreciate you. You have been phenomenal. Thank you so much for that support and for keeping those libtards away from me. Sometimes they just get on my nerves. You know why? Because they never want to have a conversation. Those who called in and actually had a conversation, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your family, man. And God bless the USA. Continue to pray for our troops. Be blessed.